Greetings, guys. Welcome to the first and maybe the last episode for our top 10 movies of 2022. I'm your host, MrYazMan300, and joining me, like always, from the Retention of the Rotten, our three regular hosts that are the most beautiful faces on the planet. I'll begin first with Mark. How are you doing, Mark?
Hi. Yeah, not too bad.
All right.
I apologise in advance, me and Andy did start drinking.
Yeah. And also, in case you're wondering why we all like sound a bit funny, we had some, had to some bloopers. We had to do multiple outtakes, so that's one's mostly on me. And joining me again, it's Kai. How you doing, Kai?
Yeah, but when you're talking about beautiful faces, it's definitely not me.
Yeah, we all know which beautiful face we're talking about. And welcome now, Andy and his beautiful sidekick, Nathan. How you
It's
doing?
me and my beautiful. I am good. I'm going to apologise because, like Mark said, I haven't got to go to work later, so I'm drinking.
Hey, you might be the first drunk host on my podcast. I know Joe almost became with his Highlander 2 episode.
Oh dear God!
And for the record, it's around 9:38 p.m. For me, and I'm drinking coffee.
All right.
So if you see, Kai warned us as well. Time to tell the listeners and viewers as well. If Kai suddenly runs off screen, he's gone to take a shit.
All right. How many minutes is this fast? Just making sure, make sure we don't get the problem with
Have we just
YouTube.
demonetised the video? We've just demonetised the video.
Hang on, we can all do it in unison. You all know the magic word. 3, 2, 1. Cunt.
Cunt.
Hey, I'm not British. I can't say it.
I didn't know actually what the magic word was, but okay.
All right. I think this is our
Whatever
first, guys.
suits you.
This is, I think, your first time doing an episode with Mark and Andy, right? Together.
Yeah, together with both.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, we did Batman.
Yes, we did
And then,
Batman.
yeah, we've never had Mark as well.
Yeah.
I remember what episode we almost had you on. Did you, was it?
It's always like one certain permutation, but not really like the whole.
Yeah, I
Like,
think every time the other one is meant to be there,
Trinity of us.
and then we all dropped that. One of us dropped that at the last second, and it was just Kai was the responsible, like reliable one.
Yeah.
Me and Mark
Yeah.
were just the idiots
Him
who
or,
just like.
or Joe, because I have some movies that I spoke with John for the Joe because he's very busy and a lot of work. I couldn't get him for some of the podcast episodes. Because one
Hey.
episode I want to do with him is The Postman. Do you guys remember The Postman with Kevin Costner?
The
There you go.
mailman always delivers.
Yeah.
But I have never seen it, I don't think, but I've heard the tagline.
It's the one with, because I remember because in my country they air it always on rerun on TV. That's why I always remember the film. What I don't remember is the fact that the film was 3 hours long.
Jesus Christ!
And he's just trying to deliver a letter, I think, is the premise
Oh,
of the film.
right.
isn't it?
Postman was a different movie than Waterworld. I always.
I think Postman came after Waterworld.
Yeah, it was after. Yeah.
And he directed Postman. That's why a lot of people are blaming him for this because he was the director on this film. And this one, I think, if I'm mistaken, it was his second directed film after Dances on the Wall because he just came out winning an Oscar for it. Yeah,
Those were the days.
yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, he's doing well. I mean, Kevin Costner. I mean, I know he has a movie with WB and
No,
sadly,
he is like the head honcho of what's it called? Yellowstone.
they're ending the show. Did you read what happened?
I mean I think
Huh.
they want to end the show after season 5.
Yes, I think because they're recording now in the mid-season break. When it comes back, it's gonna be the last episode. And basically, what I'm hearing is that he has some deals because I think they spend about 3 or more months. I think shooting the episode. I think about 80 days to shoot an episode, and he tells them like, I mean, 80 days to shoot the season, not episode.
Oh,
Oh, okay.
My bad.
but I mean, still.
Yeah.
Yeah. And because Kevin Costner, he's old. I mean, that's my assumption. Because I know he said he wants some deal to lower the time of shooting the episode. Paramount basically they told him no, and said it's like, I'm not gonna continue the show, and it's like, fun will part away. They're doing a sequel with Matthew McConaughey. They'll bring some of the cast from
Yeah.
Yellowstone to this show.
Interesting.
Yeah, they've got like a prequel and other stuff, haven't
Yeah,
they?
I mean, one with
Oh,
Harrison
don't
Ford, the
know.
other one with Sam Neill. Not Sam, what's his name? Sam Elliott.
Mm. Yeah, it was 1883, and this other thing was 1928.
Yeah, something like it's Harrison Ford and Helen Mirren. I think they play husband and wife. Alright then, speaking about now, how's Helen Mirren and Did you guys saw the trailer for Fast 10?
Yep.
Yeah.
What was a trailer?
Yeah.
That was the entire movie.
Yeah.
Of course, they had to connect everything. Basically, if you guys haven't heard, they're deconnected. You find out the villain of the movie is connected to the Fast 5, characters.
Yeah, in my opinion, the best Fast movie. But that scene in the trailer where he stood there when they take the vault out was just a terrible looking. Like, he's clearly been added there, and it just looked awful. Just from a visual point of like, that's really dumb.
Yeah. Did I mention that they spent 340 million on the film?
That's like more than Endgame cost.
Yeah. Because I know Avatar is about 460, but that includes the Avatar 3. Because they shot them back to back. That's why. Oh, was it Mark?
You get 100 Kevin Smith films for that.
I think I'd rather just watch one Fast 10.
Oh God.
Fix my all right then, yeah. Yeah, because I know that mostly because you guys heard about the behind the scenes for Fast X, the director left, and unfortunately they had to spend because of they have big name actors and their contract, they have to spend more money to them. So because they had to keep them, every day they had to pay them millions and millions of dollars, so the budget went up. That's why it got to be 340 million. Yeah.
How much of that is going to Vin Diesel's amazing acting?
And his white tank top.
And he's getting his 4th Riddick movie.
He's been saying this for years, but it sounds like there's
he's
movement.
actually getting it.
Yeah, because they're selling it at the AFM, right?
Oh, I have no idea.
It's the European film market, because I know because that's what I'm hearing. They're saying distribution rights. Because
Okay.
yeah, all right. I think that's enough of Fast 10 and Vin Diesel talk. Let's talk about what today's podcast is going to be. So basically, this episode, special episode of the podcast, is going to be us talking about our top 10 films of the year. So each one of us came in with our own list of what they think is their top 10 film of the year, and it's also including honorable mentions. Because I'm pretty sure everyone wants to know where is on the list, and this is going to be Morbius, since he mentioned he didn't see a lot of movies.
Right.
I've seen 15 movies this year.
Yeah, I've also not seen many movies, but good to mention because my honorable mentions are basically unhonorable mentions because
I will speak to you about one item on the list because we'll go with to you later.
Yeah.
And also, you might have noticed that it's only the 4 of us. Our friend of the show, Joe, he's not with us, but he did left us a video telling us what his top 10 lists are, and we'll play it later in the episode. So
it's also important to point out that we will be going completely spoiler free.
Yes.
We'll make hint at certain things, but we are not going to spoil any of the movies on our list. So don't worry, you're safe to watch.
Yeah. Yeah, of course, because we're not gonna spoil the part from Doolittle with the dragon farts at Robert Downey Jr.
And then just go straight into the spoiler.
Like this movie's from 4 years old, and I don't think people have to know about that scene.
Plus, it's a rule. Every time Yaz does one of these podcasts, Doolittle has to come up. It's just a contract. He's contractually obligated.
Yeah, I mean, I have the list here, right here. What else should I include on the list? Let me see. Oh, yes. Also, another thing, it's one housekeeping. Make sure you get my YouTube channel to 1 million subscribers so that Andy and Joe can be part of the Adventure to Facella review. I forgot to bring this up. Now you reminded me, Andy. So that's
I need to be drunk when we're watching that and talking about that.
Yeah, that's why you're preparing yourself, always drinking right now. And by the way, in case you're wondering, we're at 94 subscribers last I checked.
Fuck, didn't we agree to do something at 100?
Oh yes, Oogie Love, you reminded me. 100 subscribers will do the Oogie Love.
Shit!
You idiot! Why did you bring it up?
Again, he's drinking. Blame the drinking, Mark. Blame the drinking.
Being a supportive friend, I want you to get to that 100, and we can all just.
Thank God. I'm pretty sure Kai, he's only interested in doing the Care Bear movies, right?
What? There was a Care Bear movie?
Yeah,
I think there's movies.
There's one and two. There's one with Nutcracker, I think. It's called the Care Bear movies. I think Mickey Rooney is in it too.
The last time I've seen anything from the Care Bears, and I think I even had a puppet back in the 80s. I think it was also like late 80s where I saw something from them, but Yeah.
Well, at least he didn't say the 2010s or something that he had above it.
I mean, if you want, I have some special videos that involve Care Bears. I can send them your way if you'd like.
No, do not.
No, we know exactly what they are.
No.
You can send him to Joe since he's not here. He didn't say no.
That's the punishment. If you're not here, it's the talk shit rules. If you're not here, we send you just atrocious links that are probably viruses.
Yes.
Yeah. Everyone else was drinking.
That was bad timing.
Not me.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. All right then. So this is the housekeeping. Oh yeah. So don't forget to like and subscribe on the YouTube channel. Like I said, let's reach to 1 million subscribers so we can get the Adventures of a Cello review, which I know Andy's excited for. And also don't forget to like and subscribe to our podcast on Apple and Spotify and any other service you can find it from. And I think we should begin. So like I said, like Mark said, first of all, this is gonna be a spoiler free. We're not going to spoil the movie for you and anything what happens. And I'm going to list our top 10 list. Honorable mention, we might go quickly through them because I don't want to make the video podcast very long. Because I don't see what else am I. Oh yes, so we're gonna start from 10 to 1. Like I said, it's been a while since I've done something. I know I'm not drunk because someone is interested.
Just me and Andy.
Oh God, Joe is missing one hell of an episode.
Oh yeah.
All right then. I think we should begin. So what happens is that if you're leaking, we're gonna start now because right now the screen you're watching, we're gonna start anti-clockwise because I'm here. Then you're seeing Mark, Kai, and then Andy. So I'm gonna start for Mark, Kai, and Andy, and then we're gonna end it with a video from Joe talking about his top 10 list. But I know Mark wants to see what movie he's going to say. And also none of us is like, I don't remember this movie. The moment we find out it's actually on Shudder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I bet most of them are.
Yeah. All right then. Did you guys know what other movies on the list? Because or just okay, so none of you guys know.
I know Mark's 1 and 2. That's it, but I'm not sure which way round they are.
All right then. I think I'm going to begin first. You guys ready?
Yep.
Okay, so my number 10 is actually is the Irish film The Banshees of Inisherin. That's the one with Colin Farrell, Brendan Gleeson, and what's the guy's name? Barry Keoghan, and forgot what's. So basically, you guys know what movie this is, right?
It's Oscar-nominated one, wasn't it?
Yes, The Banshees of Inisherin. Apologies, I forgot to bring up
34 minutes left on it. I was watching it before this. Trying to watch it before this podcast, so I could go in.
Yeah, and also because too many superhero actors. The other actors is Kerry Condon, who voices Friday in the MCU. Because you got Colin Farrell, who's the Penguin, Brendan Gleeson, who's going to be in Joker too, and Barry Keoghan, whom you know him, he was in what was it, the Eternals, and Matt Reeves, the Batman.
Yeah. But it's in Bruges. Have you not seen In Bruges? It's like the In Bruges.
It's the same
reunion.
team, the director and the actors.
Yeah, it was just like I wish I was watching In Bruges.
Yeah,
it was what I felt pretty much. Like.
This one because it felt like it's a tragic comedy because it feels like you're watching a stage play. That's what it feels like watching the show. So basically, the basic plot of the movie, Colin Farrell and Brendan Gleeson, they are actually two friends. When one day Brendan Gleeson tells them like, "Hey, I don't want to be your friend. Stop talking to me. If you come to me, I'm going to cut off my fingers and send it to you." That's basically it. That's the plot of the film.
So basically, how me and Andy Mack to end our friendship.
You know what? That's what actually I ended up enjoying the movie because I feel imagining the two of you guys.
Is there weird sexual chemistry there as well?
It's Colin Farrell and Brendan Gleeson. What the hell do you think?
I mean, yeah, Colin Farrell has sexual chemistry with pretty much everybody.
Yeah. And that's actually like.
I mean, I think he's got more chemistry with the donkey, but
it will make sense if you watch the movie. It will make sense if you watch the movie.
Yeah.
That's the best advertisement for a film I've ever heard. Like, I'm tempted to watch it now.
So that's actually the plot of the film. It's basically it shows you about how like the films like shows about how this relationship like what happened because of this thing of what he tells them it affects the relationship between them and their family and the other people surrounding them, and He's great acting, from Colin Farrell. I mean, he's been having a great year between this and The Batman because he was also great in There's the Penguin. And Brendan Gleeson, of course, I mean, he's a great actor. I mean, I've loved him since, Braveheart. There's also, and it's also great. It's a great actor. And also Martin McDonagh, he writes, I think, some great scripts. Because actually, it reminded me of In Bruges. I forgot, it's been a while since I saw. Maybe I should rewatch it again.
Yeah, In Bruges is the far better film in my opinion. Again, I've got half an hour.
It's
left
more,
for
entertainment value for in Bruges. That's why.
This is nowhere near as bad as, but verging on the Blade Runner 2049 bullshit.
You know what'll be funny? Andy Dunn will watch it and he ends up loving it just to piss you off.
That's a lot of my film choices and decisions in life. Just what can I do to piss off Mark?
Yeah, especially one choice you have.
I live rent free in your mind. That's all
right. Oh, that's. I think. Yeah, so I guess it's actually I love the film. It was a hard choice between choosing this. It was between this and I think it was The Sea Beast, if I'm not mistaken. So I ended up going with The Pension of Sharon for number 10.
I mean, it's beautifully shot and beautifully acted.
Yes.
The music is fantastic. Like, it is a very well produced film. To say, I've got half an hour left on it, so I'm reserving judgment until I see how the hell it ends. But yeah,
it feels like also like a Coen Brothers movie. That's one thing also. If you can agree with me, because that's one thing I would say. Because I mean, they had one of the Coen Brothers' wife in one of the director's previous film. What's her name? Frances McDormand. That's the same guy who did 3 Billboards. Okay, so what else?
Wait. Whoa. But Frances McDormand is married to one of the Coen brothers.
Yes, that's the actress that was in Fargo, right?
Yep.
I never knew. And 3 Boards Over Ebbing, Missouri, and a million other amazing things. Oh, right. Shit.
Yeah. That's why she's always in their movies.
Yeah, but not Helen Bonham Carter. No. Bullshit. No. I mean, like in fucking his movies where she's just all over. It's like.
I think she's no longer dating Tim Burton. I think they broke up.
Oh, have they broken up now? Oh, right. That explains why she wasn't in Wednesday. Thank God.
No,
I mean, I was thinking more Mila Jovovich and that terrible movie director who does video game movies. That she's in all of his movies. I'm like, he always makes terrible films.
I think she's doing a movie with. But they are doing a movie with Batista, if I'm not mistaken. Am I thinking of a different person? Maybe he left the part because that was announced a long time ago. I think he left it.
This podcast is going to take us 5 hours.
All right, I think we should move on to my number 9. My number 9 is actually Guillermo del Toro's.
I thought we were going all doing number 10s, all doing number 9s.
Oh, no, I'll go for my list first, then you guys go on your list.
Okay, right. Sorry,
apologies, guys.
Sorry.
Yeah, no.
Okay, so my number 9 is Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio. If you guys, did you guys saw this film?
No.
Don't
do horror.
They are going
Pinocchio.
for the awards. They are. Have you seen how many bloody adverts you get in for the making of on Twitter? That and the Western Front movie or whatever. I'm just getting served like making of ads of like, yeah, we really want fucking Oscars. Like, please give us some Oscars. Yeah. It's like, we're not even advertising the film. We're advertising how the film was made.
Yeah.
It's like...
I mean, yeah, what kind of pretentious movie would do a documentary about how the film was made? Ugh.
No, Twitter fucking adverts. Twitter tweet.
Sorry, yes, carry on.
That's okay. So what was that? So this is Guillermo del Toro, and he did his own spin on Pinocchio, which I actually did love because it was completely different. It's not about like, I want to become a real, but it's more about acceptance. That's what this movie about. Because there's actually because also part of the plot is you see that there's fascist Italy is involved in part of the movie's plot. Because if you guys know Pinocchio, that's not involved in the original story. It's completely different, especially because when you watch the Disney Pinocchio, it's not the same as it is. And the film, like I said, it's a little bit dark also, like the book.
Yeah, I was going to say that they're all based on Grimm's, aren't they, or whatever?
Yeah, especially because if you guys watch what's his name, Roberto Benigni's, I'm pretty sure. Kai, have you seen the version from Roberto Benigni, the Pinocchio?
Oh
no.
No, maybe I don't know what movie should I put on the podcast for one day for review.
That's a good idea.
Oh god.
Again, if it's a puppet in a movie, it better be a Muppet.
It's basically, the guy from Life is Beautiful, Roberto Benigni, the Italian movie. It's just imagine the man dressed up as Pinocchio. That's the movie. A grown-ass man dressed up as Pinocchio.
Okay.
Guy looks disturbed.
Shotgun me not being on that podcast.
Okay. That's okay, I'll have Joe be on it.
No to that one.
I've just seen just a small insert, and Paul W.S. Anderson, the husband of Mila Jovovich, is currently producing In the Lost Lands, that's based on a short story by George R.R. Martin, and of course Mila Jovovich is in that cast.
Oh, she is.
Well.
Oh God, who'd let him name a George R. R. Martin project? That's just.
He did the Three Musketeers. How if he can do this one too? Okay.
Right.
So that's what so we were talking about Del Toro. I mean, he did a great, because it's great also seeing a stop motion movie, because this year also we also had, what was that, Wendell and Wild. That's the one from the director of Nightmare Before Christmas. That was also, I mean, the animation was good, but unfortunately the story for me felt weak. But it's also great. We don't see a lot of stop motion movies, and this movie also, and one reason I also like. Oh yeah. The reason I like this movie is because Del Toro is trying to show you, because people think of, especially remember last year's Oscar when they got the hostess, they said the comment about how animation movies for kids. Del Toro in this movie shows this is not I'm making a movie. Animation is art, part of a movie. It's not just for kids, for everyone.
It's like Fantastic Mr. Fox, which wasn't really a kids' film.
Yeah. Oh, just 1 second. Just making sure everything's well. Let me check. Did I do something wrong? Okay.
Yeah.
Apologies. I had to make sure that I don't know if you guys are listening and viewers. I think I forgot to turn off the speakers, but so far everything is working fine because I had the headphone installed. Okay, so where was I? Oh yes, number 8.
You're a Pinocchio.
Yes, that was my Pinocchio goal. It's my number 9 is actually go watch if you can. It's on Netflix. You don't have to go pay anything to rent it. You can just watch it directly streaming on Netflix. And let's see. Oh yes, my number 8. It's Matt Reeves, the Batman. All right then. I know some.
That was this. That counted this year. Oh well.
It is. All right then.
Kai,
I think you understand why Kai is holding this. Should I tell the listeners or I have the viewer just watch it?
No, I mean, just for reference, I'm having D&D cards where you usually track your initiatives, and whenever someone tells you what kind of movie they have, and I'm saying it's on my list as well, and this is actually my number 9. So
all right.
It's pretty close to yours.
Okay.
That's not even going on my honourable mentions list.
Yeah, same. I didn't like it either.
That's going to go on my dishonourable mentions list.
Yeah. I don't know if I'm going to do a top 10 worst films of the day because I haven't seen lots of bad movies.
Those are my honourable mentions. Or actually dishonourable mentions.
Did you add a movie on the list right now?
What? No.
The one
I added one movie.
Oh, okay. Yes. I think I know what it is.
Yes.
For Andy, you added it, right? I'm just what the hell did you do? When you get to Kai, you'll understand why. So always oh yes, the Batman. That actually one thing I love about this film is that now I understand why.
Oh,
for those who are actually
That's a movie than the Batman.
That's why he wanted you to hurry up. He was uncomfortable with his jacket done up. That's what it was.
I thought it was something else or another movie I thought you were going to talk about. What was I talking? Oh yes, I forgot about the Batman. So one thing I like about this movie is that Matt Reeves gave us a detective movie, and because that's something you don't see a lot in Batman movies, but I think we saw in the animated TV show and maybe I think some of it's also in the Arkham games where you see Batman becoming a detective. And the fact that they did a great job also I don't like the cast. I mean, what's his name? Robert Pattinson did a great job as Batman. I mean, my highlights has been Jeffrey Wright. He was great as Commissioner Gordon. And Colin Farrell also was great as, and unrecognized was the Penguin, even under the makeup. they so far was they did a great job. I mean, there are some weak parts that within the film, especially I think
Pacing.
by the end of maybe the third act mostly, but so far, they actually love them, and the fact that they're doing now the sequel, which we talked about it and with Kai on the last special podcast for the DC discussion. It's coming out in 2025, if I'm mistaken, right, Kai?
Yeah,
Yes,
I think it was in
the same year as Superman.
fall.
They're releasing.
In fall 25. I think Superman was in summer and Batman 2 will be, I think, in the fall.
Yeah. It's funny because how like if everything's summer cheaper for Superman, but for Batman it's dark lifted in October.
I just wish
yeah.
we'd actually got a Ben Affleck Batman movie.
No.
Not
Maybe he
this-
might end up directing the Brave and
Not the
that's
bloody
rumor.
Twilight bullshit movie.
Also, Matt. Also, one thing. Also, I liked the fact that I know the movie didn't get. I think cinematography didn't get nominated, and so is the score. But there was also another highlight for me, like the way they shot the film and they.
Oh, it was shot well.
Yeah.
The editing was atrocious. Like, you could have cut a good hour out of that movie.
Yeah.
So you
without
basically you were
cutting a
mad that
single line of dialogue. You could have cut an hour out of that movie without cutting a single line of dialogue.
Yeah.
Nah.
Oh. Man, because I know there's one movie you watched, which I'm curious to hear your thought about on your list. We'll talk about it later.
I dislike how much I agree with Mark on this. It's very frustrating.
Because that's exactly my argument for Blade Runner 2049 being a bad movie.
No.
You can cut an hour out of that movie without cutting away the dialogue.
No. If I may chime in, I mean for Blade Runner, it's basically also like world expanding and world explanation, and here's just like dialogue between people that's just going on too long.
Yeah.
That's
Just
different
lots
things.
of dramatic pauses.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
shots again. No,
Sorry to shit on your list, Yaz. You know, we know like a lot of people do like it. I just
Yeah.
Wait until I get to your list because I have some words for you. So you and Kai.
Oh dear God, I'm fully aware. I'm glad you're doing me last because my list is a shit show. Just
So, please continue, yes.
Okay, so you guys are complaining about the Batman being long. Then I can't wait for you guys to listen to my other movies on the list. So my number 7 is the Tollywood movie RRR or Triple R. Now,
Okay.
this is actually, like you said, you guys are complaining about Batman. This is a 3-hour long movie. I think let me check how long is it?
again, length versus length and word count. Like
Yes,
again, if
3
you've
hour
got
and
massive long
oh wow, I just
like,
noticed something.
shots with nothing going on. Bad movie.
3 hour and 7 minutes long movie and you can watch it on Netflix. That's the Hindu dub. It's
Which is,
because they have multiple dubs actually. One of them is the now one on Netflix is it's not the original dub. The original dub is called the Telugu dub. It's on another service. It's dedicated to Bollywood movies from India.
which is the original audio.
Yes.
So you're getting a dubbed version in Hindi as opposed to a dubbed version in English or another
No.
language you might
This is the original language they speak is Indian language called Telugu. They do also speak
exactly.
English in the movie because there are they have Ray Stevenson in the film, and I forgot the actress name. She was the femme fatale in Indiana Jones 3. But do you know who she is, right, Kai? I think he's thinking.
But they don't redub the English, right?
No.
Blonde woman.
Oh, thank fuck.
Blonde woman or
The blonde woman.
Oh.
Okay, so what was I? Oh yes,
I should
so
say like that. I didn't actually watch RRR, but it's very high on my list.
yeah, because
Yeah, I've heard.
it's amazing. Like it's a fun movie and thing. I think the heart of it's the great action sequence and well choreographed and the direction. Basically, the entertainment values.
And the
about
title
it.
is literally just megastar.
That's what most of Bollywood
right?
movies I think are. The stars what sells the movie in Bollywood.
Yeah, and they literally were just like, we've got RRR.
Yeah,
Is literally the premise of this. We've got these three names.
yes,
one of them
they're
being
the two
director,
actors
two of
and the
them being-
director. He
And they
said
all
it.
have R as the surname or whatever, or first name. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's bummed that it didn't get nominated for an Oscar, and you guys know why it didn't get nominated for a foreign film, right? I mean, it's international film. India didn't submit the film for because each country they submit one movie for the Oscar. They submit another film which was more of an Oscar bait film than this.
God damn it!
But that was dumb because no one's seen the other film.
And do you know why? Because
And like people have seen
I'm going to explain the plot of the movie they submit for nomination. See if you can guess what movie it is. So the film that they submitted is about a boy who has a troubled life with his family and school. One day he goes to the theater and he befriends the projector in it. And there, from watching the movie and the
Cinema Paradiso?
Yes, everyone's been comparing it. We saw it to that movie. Now you understand why they submit to the Oscars. Because they thought that the Academy will like this type of movie, so they might nominate this film instead of RR.
No, they don't understand how it works. Like the people voting need to have seen the film.
Most of the time, I mean, I've heard stories like people who've seen it, they do not, but it's either people telling them you should vote for this one, or they let their assistants vote for them.
I don't know that's the case, but again, they do get sent screen, and it's also it's all you have to spend a lot of money. That's why my top two films won't be seen at the Oscars, unfortunately, even though both of them deserve to be there. Because they didn't spend 10 million on marketing in order to try and get the films an Oscar. As I say, Pinocchio and the Western Front or whatever, like they are all over Twitter showing you bloody best.
I mean, Netflix is spending too much money to get these movies on, and All Wakanda Western Front because that's actually my honorable mention. That's what me saying because I'm curious to see if Kai has seen it. Have you seen it all quite on the Western Front?
I wanted to see it. I actually also wanted to have a look right now at the Wikipedia page of the movie right now. I wanted to watch it because when was it come out? 2 or 3 years ago when 1917 came out, I was pretty much into this movie. Yeah. And I wanted to see how it differentiates because it's also like a World War I movie.
I'll tell you one difference. All Quantum Story is more grittier because it's an anti-war film.
Yeah.
Okay, and like I said, I've got to mention RR. Like it's a great Bollywood movie. The musical numbers, especially the one that you see people always talking and dance to it. Natu, which got nominated now for an Oscar, and it was everything amazing, fun, entertainment value, the direction. And the main heart of the film is the relation between the two characters. If this relation didn't work, I mean, we never would have gotten a great film like this is. So if you can have the time, go watch RR. Like I said, it's also an film on Netflix. Okay, now that's my, if I'm not mistaken, number 7. Number 6,
No, that was number 8, wasn't it?
No, my number is The Batman. RR is number 7.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, number 6, Baz Luhrmann's Elvis, which a movie I did not expect it to love. Oh, 5. Man, he looks mad. Is it because of old?
I need to.
You haven't seen it, Andy, because you're the musical guy?
Andy doesn't know who Elvis is.
The thing that disappoints me the most, there was one scene where they, for some reason, I don't know whether this is a spoiler or not, they have, it's a musical spoiler for some reason. They have a mashup between Viva Las Vegas and Toxic by Britney Spears.
Oh, because that's one of the big criticisms of the film is because Baz Luhrmann has done this a lot, where he takes old music and he mixes it with a modern day music. Because
exactly,
it's one. I think the second trailer you can hear it. They mix a song with the Nicki Minaj song. Is in the trailer.
Yeah. There are lots of like.
He should have used "I Will Always Love You." Because famously she refused to allow him to have it because of his mastering contracts or whatever. So then Whitney Houston obviously then took it to popularity many years later on, but it was obviously an original song.
I mean, you do hear one famous song in the movie. It's toward the end. I think Kai knows what song it is.
Well,
I assume you'd hear more famous songs in the movie because it's fucking Elvis.
I mean, basically his whole library is like famous for everyone.
Yeah, I mean. Yeah. And because he sings a song that's not his, it's a cover. The last song, you know what I'm talking about, Kai, right?
No.
The ending of the film, you forgot?
Oh.
What he sings?
Okay,
I'm not spoiling it. But you know exactly what song it might be.
But Elvis bought a lot of songs,
Yeah.
to be fair. For
That's the thing. I mean, right now it's the only thing that was for me as a Pet Shop Boys fan was missing. Was always on my mind, but
Yeah.
that's just
Okay,
like
so anyhow, so like I mentioned, Baz Luhrmann's Elvis. So I think some people might get, because of Baz Luhrmann's direction and stuff, some people might get turned off by the film. But stuff, and also Tom Hanks also is acting in the film. Some people might get weirded out by it. I thought he was fine in the film.
Hey, the one thing you can say about that, it got the world serious about COVID.
All right, he was one of the first people to get
When
COVID.
Tom Hanks got COVID, everyone
Yep.
started worrying. And it was while he was filming, was on the set filming of the Elvis film.
And also the actor who plays Elvis, it was amazing. Austin Butler, he's great as it. He did all the singing. Yeah.
In Yoga Hosers.
Or is that your boy from Yoga Hose?
Who's in Yoga Hoses?
One of the two boyfriends.
Fuck's sake.
The blonde one, not the one from Teen Wolf.
Well, we've gladly his career went higher than Yoga Hoses. That's always good to see.
He's going to be in Dune Part 2. He'll be playing the Sting character.
will you
Okay.
sing Elvis songs, though?
What?
No,
I don't
it's
know. It's not David Lynch. He's not doing anything weird with it. He's not doing anything weird with it.
I mean, I could be saying like Dune could have more Elvis songs in it.
And I'm pretty sure he's getting tired of people calling me sound like Elvis. And he's saying, I'm losing the voice right now. Alright, so what was that? So like I said, Elvis, like, I actually did like it. I think some of the story beat and the style of the film, because I'm not a Baz Luhrmann fan, but I actually did enjoy the film because of that. And
Yeah.
and I was also.
I mean, it's Elvis's story. It's like Walk the Line. It's actually like a lot of these. They're fantastic stories.
Yeah. I know the movie's a little bit is long also. I think it's about 2 hours and 45 minutes, if I'm not mistaken. Something like this.
Yeah,
How
it
long?
was quite long.
Yeah, it was a very long movie, but
There's a lot to cover with Elvis.
Yeah.
yeah. And that's it. Like I enjoyed, but I didn't expect to love the film because most of the time biopic films are very predictable. But I actually ended up enjoying the film, and that was actually it for my Elvis. And also another thing, Tom Hanks. I know he's getting a lot of criticism for his film, and I'll say this.
What do you mean by predictable? I mean, it's a historic figure you're making a movie about.
I mean, biopic films. You know how exactly the beat are. It's like a guy becomes famous, then something happens to him, and he has to go back his comeback. But that's what I meant. I know sometimes they might end up changing some stuff in life because.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. All right, so that's it. Because and also before I know people might ask me about, because I know some people do not like Elvis because they see him as it's someone who still appropriated black music culture, which you see in the film, like they portrayed like he was a more inspired boo and was paying respect. But I don't know also because I don't know exactly about I don't know if he knows about Elvis, but I know there are some people do not like him because of this. But each their own. And also I know about his relationship with his wife Priscilla, because some people they met when she was, I think, a teenager, right?
Yeah,
I think they got married when they were like 15, something, 14, 15.
That's one thing, yeah, because this they do not mention in the film. Some people might say, man, I don't want, you might get mad at the way they handle this, but for all of them, actually, despite this, I actually ended up enjoying the film. And let's see, what else? Oh, did I mention about Tom Hanks? Because I keep forgetting, yeah. Basically, I don't think he's that bad, where people say it is. Actually, it's weird, but I went through it, but it's not his best acting role, but it's not also that bad. All right, then that's my number 6. Number 5, I got the Northman. That's the one with Alexander Skarsgård and Nicole Kidman, Claire Danes, and Anya Taylor-Joy, Willem Dafoe, and Ethan Hawke. It's basically the story of the character that inspired what's his name? Is that the story of Hamlet? I think that's I think it's Hamlet.
Hamlet's a king.
Yeah,
right?
because the story is basically a king. He gets betrayed by his brother. Then the son comes back. He wants to avenge. That's Hamlet, right?
I think it
They
was
must
Wait a
avenge
second,
the
I've seen this film.
a Shakespeare.
Wait, that was this year?
play.
Yes, the one with Alexander Skarsgård's Vikings.
Oh no, I was thinking of a different one. I was thinking of Black Knight.
But
To be fair, they came out at similar-ish times, and I get them mixed up all the time as well.
Oh wait,
I know I need to watch both of them, but I can't remember which one I need
Wait,
to
are you
watch
talking
first.
about Green Knight or Black Knight?
Green Knight. Yeah.
Because you said, I thought you said Black Knight. I was thinking about the Martin Lawrence movie.
Oh, no, it's Green. I was talking Green Knight, whatever it was. Yeah.
Yeah. So this film is actually one thing I liked about this because first of all, the director Robert Eggers. He's one of my favorite directors, and this film, one of the reasons I liked it because it showed actually Vikings what they really are. They didn't actually, they made them like heroes. They showed them what for the true way. Because if you know your Viking history, you know that they were not good people. They were very terrible and very barbaric. They showed them for who they are. I mean, great story. I mean, I know people say it's basically Hamlet, but this is a story that inspired Hamlet. By Mark is leaving to do some stuff, but
He's time to get a drink.
Yes, so what was I? Oh yes, I was talking about the Northman. So none of you guys have seen the film, right?
Not yet. I will at some point, but isn't it 3 hours long?
No, that's not a 3 hour long movie.
It must be. Green Knight must be the 3 hour long one. Northman must be the.
136 minutes.
What's that in English?
Oh wait, the Northman.
138 minutes. But...
2 hours 16 minutes.
Oh, okay. So it's 2.5 hours.
2 hours 17 minutes. Yes, that's the. The Green Knight is 2 hours and 5 minutes.
Oh shit! Both of them are 2 hours. Okay, I thought they were 3 hours, which just put me off watching them. I will get some at some point. I just have to be in the mood for that sort of film, but it does look good. So I can, and I know a lot of people have talked about it, and obviously you've recommended it now, so I will definitely get around to it.
Hey, it's funny hearing you say you're gonna watch a movie I recommended, knowing my taste.
Well,
Joe mentioned it as well, and I was trying to be nice, yeah.
Yeah, that's okay. So like I said, the Northman, the acting was also great, and I mean, all the actors were also good. I mean, I thought it's exactly this thing. There are some weird part because Robert Eggers, he does some crazy things, and there's also one scene where you see it turns into an Elden Ring boss fight. You'll understand when you see the movie. You'll understand why it feels like an Elden Ring boss fight. That's all I'll say. All right then. We were talking about the Northman, and Andy said, Mark, that he's gonna watch the film because it's at 2 hours and 17 minutes. Okay. Hey Andy, you're back. So is Mark.
You still haven't I still haven't heard a single film that's on my list yet. On your list.
Actually, yeah, I've been writing down things like Kai's done, so I've got like 10 to 9 on a bit of paper, but I don't think I'll be using this anytime soon.
All right then. We're speaking of movies that you guys haven't seen. So I'm pretty sure number 4 is another one you guys haven't seen. It's a Korean film, South Korean more specifically. Decision to Leave. This is actually by Park Chan-wook, the director of Old Boy. So basically, this film is about a detective who's investigating the death of a mountain climber. And when he's doing this investigation, he falls in love with the wife of the murdered victim. And what happens is that more stuff starts coming out. It's a very because the director Park Chan-wook is an amazing filmmaker. And did you guys saw Old Boy, the Korean film, not the Spike Lee remake?
No.
I always.
Can I just stress something? Is that a Jack Daniels and Coke can?
Yes, it is. So I only had this.
Can't even be asked.
It's all I had in the fridge. It's all I had in the fridge. It was. I had one bottle of cider and this in the fridge. I've drunk the cider. Now I'm onto this. It was.
You should have Andy. You know what? If you want to sponsor, they should go have Andy be their spokesman.
Yeah. When you want to talk about terrible movies, drink Jack.
Oh boy! You know what? That'll be a good thing for them. You should have it when you do the Cella movie review.
I mean, I'm looking forward. This is like
he needs a bottle of Jack for that.
Oh, no, I am looking forward to the
You'll
day.
need that double-sized one.
I'm looking forward to the day we get round to doing the Star Wars sequels. When we get to Last Jedi, I need to be hammered just constantly, and then it's going to be 3 hours long, and it's going to be fun.
Oh God.
The holiday special and the
No.
Battle for Endor.
The animated ones.
There were 2 actually TV movies.
Oh no!
Actually, no, I think they came out in cinemas.
Yes, I think in Europe they came out in cinema, but in US they were TV movies.
I mean, I probably enjoy the cabinet, but there's a difference between bad and pisses me off. So,
So coming back to your number 5.
yes, going back to good movies. Sorry,
Please give us the pitch for this movie.
The Northman?
No, Decision.
No, the South Korean.
The Northman is number 5. Decision is number 4.
Oh, this is number 4.
Oh,
Yeah, I think I told you. Basically, it's about the detective who's investigating the murder of a mountain climber because it looks like he fell from up. So he starts to investigate his death, and meanwhile while investigating, he meets up with the murder victim's wife. She's a Chinese immigrant, and then he slowly starts falling in love with him, and then secrets and stuff. Because I'm trying not to spoil the movie because because more secrets and stuff start to come in, because it's actually a little bit of psychological thriller too.
Okay.
Because that's why I liked it, because I'm into like thrillers and stuff, and there are some twist and turn happens in the movie. And one of my favorite thing about the director Park Chan-wook is that he shoots his movie very beautifully. Because if you watch any of his movies, The Handmaiden, Stalker, I think that's the one with Nicole Kidman and I forgot the actor's name. He played forgot what's the princess Queen Elizabeth's sister's name? Princess Margaret. Her husband in season 2 of The Crown. He was also in the film.
what? No, is that Andrew or no? The other one.
Yeah, because if you watch all of his movies, the director Park Chan-wook, he shoots his movies very well, and that's one of the reasons why I love him, because his movies look very beautiful. That's whenever I see him, I was like, okay, I want to see how beautiful his movies look like, and that was one of the reasons why I fell in love with him. And also, part of it was my list because I'm also a fan of his directing work, and it was also another great film he did. I mean, I don't think it's as good as Oldboy, but it's a movie I recommend people to check it out.
Okay.
Yeah. And that's number 4. Number 3, I think, is everyone's list. Everything, Everywhere, All at Once. No, I think that's in everyone's list. Okay.
Number 3 as well.
Yeah.
Oh, hang on. No, I didn't finish it.
Oh, yes, he didn't. He didn't watch it. He wouldn't finish it.
I couldn't. I've seen half an hour of it. I couldn't watch any more.
Jesus.
I can't.
Based on the half an hour you've seen it, what way would you rank it?
The minute afterwards, the subtitles pretty much stopped.
Again, I couldn't. I can't do subtitles. Like I'd say, I'm not going to be really horrible, Yaz. You know, I'm not good for. I can probably not watch half the films on your list because I can't do subtitles. I have seen one subtitle film in my life, and it was difficult, and I watched it.
There's only two foreign films with subtitles on my list.
I thought you had the.
The thing is.
Oh no, it's because you've talked about Quiet on the Russian Front. That one's got subtitles.
That's an honorable mention. It's not in my top 10.
Sorry, no, sorry. I remember they've come up at some point, but yeah.
All right then.
But the bulk of the movie is in English.
Yes, it's an American production. I mean, they speak Chinese.
Yeah.
What was the line that the director of Parasite said? If you look away from the subtitles, you'll be missing on amazing films.
I mean, I'm sure that's true. It's just it genuinely hurts my head. I
Hey,
can't focus on two things at the same time.
Again, Andy, I agree with you. But whatever, like
I know it feels like
5 minutes too early before it stopped becoming really an issue.
Okay.
It's like the minute you kind of move on from the first setup, there's a lot more English.
All right then. So I guess this movie, I mean, you guys heard everything about this film. Everything you heard about it is true. Like the direction, the acting, and the writing, and everything about it. But
Again, it's also, I think, a movie that we want to say as little as humanly possible about if anyone hasn't watched it, because it is so brilliant.
It's very good and brilliant, and it's great also seeing the actor come back. Forgot his name. Who plays the husband?
He plays Short Round.
he's short
Yes,
rounded.
his name is, I have it right here. Ki-hai Kwan. That's his name. It was great seeing him come back, and so.
And then the pictures of him and Harrison Ford having a hug at some award ceremony. Like,
apparently Harrison Ford
But also
like
Steven Spielberg.
yeah, even he's happy with him. It's funny enough that he's got nominated. Spielberg, one of his actors, is nominated in that category also for supporting Oscar. That'll be great because I think
I mean, the performances all round are absolutely amazing.
This is actually one of these movies where all the
I don't
acting
want to even say
was
like
great.
some of the other people in this movie, because a lot of the people that come in later are just like surprises and everything else to it. It's
Even
top
the
to
message is
bottom
kind of relatable. It's about family. I mean, there's something people would accept.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
universal,
family
something
movie,
we hear.
more than like sci-fi stuff.
Let's not even. Again, it's a fantastic movie. Everyone should watch it.
Yeah. Okay. That's it. And what else? Also, that's I think because the problem is because I don't know what to say because everyone spoke about it, because then it's everything material. It's basically believe the hype. That's what I'll say. Everything you hear about the movie, believe it. That's what everything everyone
And just
wants.
go in as blind as you possibly can into that movie. Like, don't like take our word for it. Just go watch it. Don't watch trailers. Don't like look anything up about that movie. Just go in.
The
and
moment
watch it.
this, I'll tell you why how I loved it. The moment this movie came out, one of my country's streaming service, I saw it, and I loved it.
It's on Amazon Prime.
Let's just say like that. I tried this with some of my friends, and they stopped the movie basically before it went nuts. So it's like after 30 minutes they stopped watching it.
Like
So,
Andy.
Remember, Andy? This should be your main priority. Out of all the movies, this should be your main priority. You finish watching this film.
And that's the thing. Everyone's talked about it. Everyone's hyped it so good. I love Michelle Yeoh. I was trying to say that she's someone who popped up in Discovery. Loved her in there. And for some reason, I see her now everywhere. There is not like a month or two goes by that I don't see a TV show or film where at some point she shows up. So like, I watched it because I really like her.
I mean, we could sell him with some of the actors, other people that are in it, but hey, like he needs to watch it.
Yes or no?
There's a free fun fact for you about the film. I don't know if you guys heard about it. Originally supposed to be about Jackie Chan and his wife, but then there's like, hey, we'll change it. And Jackie Chan, because they met with Jackie Chan before they went to Michelle Yeoh.
They flipped the character. Yeah.
And then Michelle Yeoh said that
she's literally going to thank him she's already said she's going to thank Jackie Chan in her Oscar speech for turning it down.
And he told her, like, I think in an interview, Graham Norton's like, he came to me, he called me, told me, you do know that your boys came to me first. When they're two friends, they're talking about rivals. And Jackie Chan is a funny guy also, because you saw he sometimes will roast they get an interview.
Yeah, no, I mean, it would have been a very different, but I don't think, again,
He's their friend, they're friends for a long time, they know each other.
Yeah.
Okay, do you guys want to guess my number 2 and 1? Do you want to guess what's my number 2?
Is it the same as me?
That's.
I would bet good money on it. It's not.
No.
Yeah, of course.
I could see Yaz's number 2 being the same as my number 2.
That's Andy's number 2.
Maybe maybe your 1 and 2 of mine are flipped. I could see that.
Does Sky want to guess what movie is this?
I could be guessing, but just shoot it out.
Prey.
Yeah.
I think you guys have an idea what's my number 1. Prey is my number 2.
Mm-hmm.
A film I've actually seen. It's not on my list.
Yeah. So Prey actually.
What?
What did he say?
He's seen it and it's not on his list. Considering that he's only seen like.
I've seen 15 films, and Batman and Prey are 2 films that are not on my list, and I have finished them.
Do you know what would be funny, Mark and Kai? If Morbius is on the list, but Prey is not on the list, that would be funny.
It was so tempting. Morbius is generally closer to being on my list as Batman and Prey.
No. Just continue.
Oh, I know what his number. Oh, I was trying to work out what his number 1 was, but it wasn't on my list. So that's in.
But you know exactly what it is. Yeah? It's always that number 2 is Prey, and wow, I mean, it's great to see that because I'm actually a huge fan of the Predator films, and after how many, I think, God knows how many sequels we got that none of them were on parts of the first one. The fact that we got, apologies guys. We got a sequel, which actually it was more of a prequel, but
prequel.
Yeah, and the fact that I liked it because they made it like they didn't went big with it. They said let's go back to basic, make it to a smaller film. That's one thing I liked, and they made it more about the survivor instead about it. And
Yeah, it was more like a personal
Yeah.
survival
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
it's one on one. It was attacker hunter kind of thing, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was.
It's not like a what was it, like a detective movie like Predator 2 for some reason was.
Predator 2 at least was fine because at least they tried to go out to change the formula. That's one thing I liked about it.
Yeah, but I think they kind of went back to the original for the same vibe that they wanted to get, but
it's a bit like the Mexican Rambo one.
The Mexican? No, you mean
You
the
think he's
Turkish
thinking
one?
about?
No, the one where he goes to Mexico. Well, it's one.
That's the last Rambo movie. I'm mistaken with the farm attack,
No,
right?
it's not the last Rambo one.
I think about Turkish Rambo. That's a really good film.
Yeah.
Oh God. Shut up.
I know what's going on.
You're drunk. Go on.
So praying like it's great seeing. Also, Amber Mithon, she was amazing as the lead, and also I actually did like the new Predator that he had for the film, man. And I do hope we get to see more this type of Predator films. Like, but that was one of my big issues with the sequels. Like, they tried to go big with them, and it's like they forgot what makes the first movie special. And the fact they say, hey, you know what? We'll go back to basic, make it smaller film, and I'm glad I saw it, because I know that for us internationally we saw it on Disney Plus, and in the US it was on Hulu. That's one way. Did you guys saw it in the English dub or just in the Comanche dub?
Yeah, I watched it in English. I wanted to go for the Comanche, but again, for me as a non-native speaker, I basically went to the original. And never really.
Yeah, but the Comanche dub, I assume, was actually all Comanche, right?
Yeah, they all speak Comanche, but there's the subtitles. And there's
I mean, there's in the English dub, they speak Comanche when they speak Comanche, and then they speak English when they speak English, which again is the right, and everyone's then nothing's dubbed.
Yes, I know.
It's the actors talking in the native tongue. Yeah, so definitely go the English dub.
Yeah, they did a great job with the film, and I don't know if what's the company called, the toy figure Nika, if not mistaken, they released the figure for the Predator or not, because I want to buy it. Let's see what else. It's also great because I can't wait to see if they make the sequel.
It was beautifully shot though as well, and like the locations and
it was
actually, it was originally a theatrical release or not, but then because of the
that was actually my issue. I mean, this would have looked wonderful on the screen.
Yeah,
because there are lots of really like dark scenes.
Just get yourself a 65-inch OLED for with a Dolby Atmos and all the rest of it. Oh, that looked fantastic on my TV.
So like I said, this was actually a conflict between my number one. It's like, should I make this one number one or should I make Prey my number one? So
yeah,
it better be my number one. Yeah,
so otherwise I'm gonna be number one then.
All right then. Do you guys want to say what's my number one?
Yep.
Yeah.
Go ahead, guys. Say it.
Clerks 3.
No. Kai.
I thought it was Glass Onion.
No.
I was under the impression it would be my number 2.
Which is?
I'm assuming it's Top Gun.
Yes, Top Gun's my number 1.
Yeah.
Not on my list.
Not seen it yet.
What?
Nah, it's not. It's.
I mean, it's the experience actually, the movie.
The thing is, I made the mistake of not watching it in the theater. I only watched it on demand at home, but afterwards I was thinking like I should have watched it in a theater.
Even I saw it in the home, not the theater, and I actually loved it.
It isn't. It isn't.
It is pointless.
No.
The whole movie is pointless.
So is existence, but we're all still here.
Yeah.
That was really dark.
They actually did I'll talk about the film. They actually did a great job with the film, even improving it from the first film, like the sequel. Like, even people have not seen
the first film actually dealt with real world issues. This one fucking avoided offending anyone, made up a country, made up a conflict, just so you didn't say Russia or China, so you could still sell to those markets. And then just completely took the film out of the kneecaps. Like
they also
it's nothing. It's a fake country.
Mark just became Jerry Seinfeld.
They also did this in the first one, but
Where was Russia and stuff in the first
they never
one?
say who the villain is in the first movie.
they never did.
Yeah, but they went out of their way to make sure that they said this is not Russia or China. In this film, they went explicitly
They shot
out
that
of their
scene
way
in Lake Tahoe
multiple
near
times.
Back Mike's house. Remember? Really? Because remember they told somebody go to that shooting location. He was sending them photos to Nick.
Oh yeah. But yeah, it's just so like.
I mean, look, this
bullshit,
I know
in my
because
opinion.
people always are making
Again,
fun.
everything about it, the film, them all flying, all of that is great, but it just loses me when it just feels like there's no
That seems to
stakes,
be
so
what
there's no nothing.
triggers the people up more about the films. That part, like, who's the villain? Why are they not saying their name? Yeah.
Yes, because they're doing it so they can sell to markets.
I mean, that's how
they're
they make
doing
money.
it because it's a bullshit reason.
That's why, Avatar is getting so much, because that's one of the reasons why Avatar is doing it, because he made them feel that it was not going to offend anyone.
Yeah, but that's on a different planet.
Yes.
If you're talking about US fighter jets fighting someone,
Hang on,
fucking
Mark.
go Russia.
Hang on, Mark. Your issue is a film company made a film safe so they could make money, which is a business and it's their job
But
to do.
it just takes it out of the knees. Like there's it just
but
you don't know who the threat is. They just seem like some
You
simple
watch Marvel
Mark,
movies. Half the
Mark,
time they're fake countries.
Mark.
Yeah, of course.
Just think about the situation. If you're in the discussion boards and the high executives at Paramount at that point.
I get why they did it.
You're talking about the original movie. You're trying to pitch it and saying, okay, who is going to be the big enemy of this movie? And the director is saying, obviously, it's going to be the Russians. Are you fucking nuts? Are you fucking nuts? We are not going to sell this movie in Russia afterwards. Well, obviously they didn't afterwards because for some other reason.
Let's piss off the Russians even more. Why not?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Fucking make it the Russians. They're all fighting Russian jets anyway. They're all flying Russian jets anyway.
Yeah.
No, they should have been Durkastans. That's a Team America reference if no one got that.
Yes. No. Actually, it's a similar thing with 24. I'm still trying to rewatch it.
Make it fucking Iran or North Korea. Again, like the plot of the film makes it.
You want them to hack the Paramount emails and release all the information from them? Because that's what they did with Sony with that interview. Remember North Korea?
That's a good point. Yeah, let's not piss them off anymore. Yeah. Like I say, I don't have any more. I had a Paramount Plus account. I could do it without them knowing my personal details.
But again, they just don't seem like a threat. But that's my problem, is they're not a threat. The enemy is never a threat because you never establish them as a threat.
Yeah, not really.
But that's not the case in a lot of movies. In a lot of Thanos isn't real. There's not purple grip. There's not big grimace with a gauntlet.
Thanos as a fucking threat. By the time he turns up, they establish Thanos as a fucking bad motherfucker.
Okay, so I haven't seen it. So in talk about if they made the fake country threatening, would you be okay with them being a fake country or fake enemy, whatever they are?
Yeah, if there was some more context other than we just need to go do this mission in this place, and then we're going to just do everything else, like.
But that does not take away from all the fun Top Gun-iness.
But you can do all of that, but then actually have a stake in it. In my opinion.
They actually do this. They say at the beginning they're trying
Joe is happy that he's not part of this discussion right now.
Yeah, they're creating. I
feel like this is high on Joe's list.
To stop them. So that's everything. That's everything you need to know at that point.
It just felt like it took the whole movie out of the knees of just bottling it. Because it felt like they were bottling it to either say Russia or China, and it was just badly puppeted.
I mean, you could say it's a nitpick, but I don't really feel pretty offended by the choice. Oh, we've lost YAZ.
No, I think he's just running.
No,
I think he's like, they should have got my number one movie.
No, I'm shitting on.
Mark shitting on it. I am disagreeing with Mark because I disagree with Mark.
I have it also on my list at number 2, so
yeah.
we're also going to talk it there.
Again, it's my number 13.
13.
That's unlucky.
Yeah, but well, it's not even
pretty sad, actually,
because I have 2 movies that are actually numbered that were on my top 10. Maverick never was in my top 10.
Okay.
So we start speaking about Top Gun Maverick.
Yes, for now. But don't stop talking. Yes, don't let him get a word in. Just
go for it.
Hang on, you're the pod. Just mute him. Just you're the one running this. Just mute him.
All right then. So I forgot to talk. We were supposed to talk about Top Gun Maverick. Forgot about it. We're all discussion right now. And look, I mean, like, despite the problem like you mentioned, like the fake country and etc., and people saying that the ending feels like, what was it, Star Wars, New Hope. I mean,
well, you can say that to some degree, but I didn't mind.
Yeah. It's actually because one reason I love, like I said, the direction, the cinematography, and the acting. I mean, the story makes it more because they make us care for the characters. That's why, because that's one reason why I liked RRs, because they make the characters like you start to care for them. That's what they did with Top Gun. They made you actually fall in love with the characters. That was the main thing they did, and that was the reason why I actually I loved Top Gun Maverick, because of that, the experience they did. And I'm glad to see it got nominated for Best Picture, but I'm actually kind of a little bit bummed that Tom Cruise didn't get nominated for Best Actor. But at the end of the day, I'm glad to see who gets also nominated. And I don't know, because they might have some competition because they're going against Avatar and all those technicality. And I think they might end up winning some. I think mostly from the sound department.
I don't know. Everything everywhere always at once might clean up.
I'm talking about the technicality department because it's going to
I
between
still
Top
think
Gun
that
and,
one.
You think if it will win the best visual effects over Avatar?
Yeah, no, I see Avatar walking that one. Visual effects
Avatar,
is why it's sold
special
on.
effects, but maybe sound, some of the sound and some of the other like edity sort of ones.
I don't know if Andy can
check. It depends.
Did Top Gun Maverick nominated for the best editing? Because I think
again, I'm talking that you're not a good film, but hey, we're going to give you a load of awards because you spent a load of money making this film categories.
All right.
Like Blade Runner 2049.
I think that was it for my top 10. Now, honorable mentions, I have there's an alphabetical order. I have All Quiet on the Western Front, Ambulance, that's the Michael Bay movie, Barbarian, Doctor Strange, The Multiverse of Madness, Glass Onion, The Adam Project, The Bad Guys, that's an animated DreamWorks movie, The Menu, The Sea Beast, Thor: Love and Thunder, Turning Red, and X.
No Black Panther even.
Oh, I didn't have the time to see the film because I was very busy. And that was the reason why I delayed the podcast, because I want to watch Black Panther, and I was like, oh god damn it, I'm busy, I have so much stuff to do.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Good explanation why Black Panther isn't there then.
Yeah.
Okay, shall we get on to the...
Yes, now we go to Mark's top 10 list.
Please present us all those movies that are not Clerks free on your list.
Pardon? What did you say?
Yeah, the movies that aren't Clerks free. What are the other 8 movies?
Yeah.
Because I know, Mark, when you sent me the list, you sent me it to top 12, right? And so do you want to begin with top 10?
Yeah.
I added the 11 and 12 to the honorable mentions.
Okay.
Yeah, they're in my honorable mention. Again, as I say, those movies got kicked off my list by other movies getting added to it. Yeah. So the other ones like Maverick, which were never in my top 10, were in my honorable mentions. Yeah. Okay, so I'm starting at number 10, which is Meet Cute. Kaylee Cuoco and Pete Davidson.
Okay.
In a Netflix movie.
Yeah, I think that's an Amazon movie internationally.
Oh, is it Amazon?
Yeah, because US is Peacock. For me, when I checked, it's on Amazon.
Oh, is it Amazon? Okay, is it on Amazon or Netflix? Whichever one.
It's Amazon, yeah.
You should be able to find it free within either Amazon or Net. Yeah. Again, this is a movie that I want to tell you nothing about, but want to guarantee you that is very worth watching. They're both of their performances are brilliant. Like this story, the twists are top notch. It is a really, really good movie for something that is on Peacock / Amazon. You know,
I was
and
actually,
had very little fanfare.
My plan, original plan was now about to talk about a movie. I was gonna play the film's trailer, but when I was looking at the Meet Cute trailer, I was like, "Oh man, this might be a spoiler." So I decided to cancel this decision.
Yeah, again, this is a film that you should just go and watch. Like 2 people talking in a bar. That's all you need. Like, but 2 very interesting, and it just goes on a journey that is very clever and very interesting.
Yeah.
With great performances, serious subject matter and everything else. But that's
all right.
That's all I really want to say about Meet Cute, because otherwise I start spoiling it. But
okay, number 9.
Don't be Andy Mack. Don't be an Andy Mack.
Yeah.
Is all I'll say.
I mean, I googled the film and I spelled meat as in the food.
It's meat, MEETCUT.
Yeah, I got that one. I corrected.
Yeah, that's just because he's a sad, lonely person that just thinks it is.
I think when you told me about this movie and the last Zoom, I thought the same thing. Meat cute. I thought it was food. Something that has to do with food.
Exactly. I'm glad I'm not the only one.
Thankfully, I saw that the other meat. Yes, Kaya has something to say.
I'm just interrupting. There is a new Super Mario Bros. Commercial out.
No,
the movie?
Yes. Basically, it's a plumbing commercial for the for the Mario Bros.
The actual plumbing company. Oh, that's quite cool.
Did you play that song? There's a whole Mario.
I have no idea. I need to watch it once this podcast is over.
Yeah.
So in like
is
4 hours,
the Flash trailer out yet or not?
Hopefully before the Super Bowl starts.
All right. Because did you see the poster?
That's why you're drinking coffee.
Yes.
Do you want to? Right. Okay. You never explained that earlier.
Okay.
He did.
Okay.
He just went here.
Okay. I think he was
number 9. The first of 2 documentaries on my list.
Okay.
Selena Gomez, My Mind and Me, available on Apple TV Plus.
Guys are really
again. I see you all looking away, and all the rest of it. Like it's Did any of you ever see the Billie Eilish Life is Blurry?
No.
I think it's similar people. But
I think it's the director of the Madonna documentary, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, but I mean, this is a all access pass documentary in the life of Selena Gomez, whilst going through mental health diagnostics and being extremely frank about mental health issues and all the rest of it. It is a powerful bloody documentary dealing with serious mental health topics. I know it's the Disney whatever Selena Gomez, but no, it's not. It is a really powerful documentary about someone dealing with some serious fucking shit.
Now I know you're talking serious subject, but I have to interrupt you. It's like, why is Andy laughing?
Sorry, I have no intention of liking Selena Gomez, so I'm watching the Super Mario trailer, and it's fucking brilliant.
Okay.
It's really good.
I'm talking about this poor girl who's gone through these horrific things, and he just sat there laughing.
Yeah, and that's why because for those who are listening, Andy was laughing, and the people would think that your viewers
very inappropriate time.
Yeah.
Oh shit! Wasn't sorry. I was
talking about Selena Gomez's mental health issues, and like all the rest of it, you just sat there.
Sorry, I didn't know that part. I mean, when I thought you were talking about something earlier, another film I hadn't seen. I got bored and just sort of drew. You can't see it's a massive cock.
Hey, don't. Okay,
Thank God.
if I get suspended, I'll blame you. Okay.
It's not. It's
No,
my
don't
drone.
worry,
It's not
it
very
got
graphic.
blurred out. Don't worry,
Hey,
it got whited out. It got whited out.
don't.
Anthony, don't stop! Stop trying to make it actually show up.
Yeah, I'm going to make
Oh.
the camera take it away from OBS. Okay.
Okay, that's fine. I will stop. I will stop. But no, it's just sorry, I don't like. I'm not a Selena Gomez fan, but I was just distracting
But
myself.
again, you do not need to be a Selena Gomez fan to want to watch this film.
Okay.
This is a serious film about the industry and what it does and mental health issues. It is a massively mental health positive film, etc. Dealing, and she is so brutally honest and about her journey and everything else. Again, I like her in Only Murderers in the Building.
Yeah.
That's my kind of Selena Gomez kind of interests until I watched this documentary. Oh, she was on Animal Talking, wasn't she? As well, with Gary Witter.
Oh, that's right. She was an Animal Talking.
Gary Witter's
Yeah.
Animal Talking.
She
okay.
performed the
Yeah,
song on the podcast, and I think he got claimed on
And again,
YouTube.
that was my exposure to Selena Gomez beforehand. Really,
You not watched Only Murders? She's good in that.
What did
No, I
did you
literally
hear
said-
him what he said right now?
Again, he doesn't listen to me. So
I may have been watching the Mario trailer again.
Oh god.
God,
How many
catchy
times
song
are you
in
going
it.
to watch Chris Pratt talking in Italian accent?
You
Well-
right, there's a movie on my list that I don't like. It's only there because Chris Pratt is in it. Just that's my level of I love Chris Pratt.
So
He's
it's me.
good- he's
You're
good
going
in
to watch
Parks
that
and Rec.
Garfield movie where he voices Garfield?
I mean,
They did.
again, when we
I
get
mean-
to my list, you will be aware I watch any old shit. So yes, I probably will watch it.
Also, I think Mark might end up watching the Garfield movie because the actor who plays the owner of the football team in Ted Lasso, he's in the film.
Oh, what?
The shame woman from Game of Thrones.
Rebecca,
Thank you. Yeah,
That's the same one who plays the shame one from Games of Thrones, right?
yeah.
Anna Worthington.
Hannah. I knew it was something Wadding, but Wadding. Yeah.
Shame.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I wonder
but
if anyone's ringtone is this.
can Andy please stop
Okay.
laughing over my?
I've
trying to
closed.
talk
The
about
Mario trailer
serious-
has been
Can you
closed.
Stop it.
because we're already now hour and 16 minutes into the podcast. I haven't Mark continue speaking.
We're not even halfway through yet.
Yeah, I mean we still haven't gotten to Joe's video.
Yaz was like, "This is gonna be a quick one. We'll be out of here quickly." No, you can
Alright.
come back now because I'm gonna transition away. But if you have Apple TV Plus, I
Yeah.
highly recommend you go watch Selena Gomez, My Mind and Me. It is a fantastic documentary dealing with some serious topics. Okay, you don't need just remove the Selena Gomez from the beginning. My Mind and Me, that is what it is. You don't need to be a fan. That is a really powerful watch. Going into number 8, Thor: Love and Thunder. Oh my God, I had a good time.
Oh yeah, we
Yeah.
can't see that.
That's my
That's
number
actually a
10.
good film.
My number
I
10.
don't understand the hate against the film. That's all I'll say. Because it's actually my honorable mention the list for the film.
Another Marvel movie got put into my honorable mentions.
Oh,
Um,
for fuck's sake!
I know what it is.
So I wish I didn't, but yeah, I know what it is as well.
It was fun. It was. I liked the story. Like Christian Bale was fantastic. The end of the film I had no issues with and kind of really loved.
Yeah.
Like Taika Waititi, if you go back and watch all of his indie films, they're phenomenal.
It's a great soundtrack.
Yeah,
Um,
everything about it was fun. It was good. Chris Hemsworth's chest, etc. Like can't go wrong. Everything, yeah, and returning people were fantastic in it,
Yeah.
etc. I mean, So I think
I mean, I liked it, but I didn't love
we
it as
can
much
always
as
talk-
Ragnarok, but it still was actually an enjoyable film.
this is the highest on anyone's list, right? So does anyone else want to say anything about Thor: Love and Thunder?
No,
Or should we do it when you get
Yeah,
out to
like,
yours? Okay.
I'm talking slightly later about.
Cool. Okay, fine. Number 7, Glass Onion,
I am. That's a good one.
a Knives Out story.
What number for you? That's
I
my
should do
honorable
that.
mention, actually.
Like great, and again, so much about that movie I don't want to talk about.
Yeah. It's
Because
better than the first one. That's all I'll say. Also,
I wouldn't give you that, but
no, because one of the things because the way they handled the mystery. Because the first one, I was able to predict who the killer is. For this one, I wasn't. They made it like it was hard to predict who the killer is. I think this one they did a better job for me.
yeah, I think the first one had a better premise though.
Yeah.
Like
I would be
kind of.
I would be saying like for this movie they made it a little bit more difficult to peel the onion.
Yeah.
God, I'm so proud.
But when you got to the core, the original film I think has a better like the whole like premise, whatever. Again, we're not talking spoilers. I think it's better. It's more interesting than this one, but hey, it's a fantastic watch. Fantastic actors, everything, the production design, etc. Phenomenal.
Yeah.
Kate Hudson. Oh, I always love her.
Batista was also
Ever
great
since
in
Almost
it.
Famous.
Well, what else was it? It was Edward Norton.
Batista, like being like his character and like the introduction of his character. Oh yes.
Yeah.
Oh, so yeah, there's that certain cameo at some point that I really liked.
Yes.
Oh yes,
yeah.
I know what you're talking about. I think that was a favorite scene. Even the response from the cameo was amazing.
Yeah, you don't really. Are you talking about the one that you don't realize is a cameo at the beginning until the end?
No, the person who opens the door when the parcel's dropped off.
Yeah.
Yes. No, but that's at the end.
No,
that's actually
like
it's roughly in the middle.
In the middle. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, until you find out who it. Yeah, but again, you hear the voice previously, and then. Yeah.
Okay, all right. Okay. Yeah. I get that. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. You hear them before, and you don't necessarily know until you then see halfway through. Yeah. Again.
Yeah.
Great onion peeling mystery movie.
And I also love the Daniel Craig's swimsuit in the film.
Yeah.
It's hard not to like that. I'll give it that.
Yeah.
Did you guys unlock it in Among Us? They released it.
Oh yeah. Oh, when they're playing Among Us, in the
Oh, Among Us, fucking hell.
Because they released that costume as a skin in Among Us. Remember, it was the Game Awards. They announced it.
Yeah.
For some reason in my head, I heard that as The Last of Us. Like, you're just fighting clickers in that costume. Like, that's not very appropriate.
Someone will create a mod for this.
Yeah.
Oh, that already exists.
But again, like, you don't realise, like, that was some serious fucking cameos when he's playing Among Us, like using Discord or Zoom or whatever. It's probably like, it's just a row of fucking, again, great cameos, great everything, great movie. Like, we really, if you haven't seen it, go watch it.
It's on Netflix, so it's easier for you to watch.
Yeah. Like, the next one is Disney Plus / Hulu as well. This is one I had thoroughly recommend you go watch.
The Princess, right?
Without looking. The Princess.
Yeah.
Okay.
Again, the title is deceptive. Like, I just clicked it because it was a what's new, and
it's also the actors. What's the name? Zoe King, right?
I don't know, but yeah, I didn't. Yeah, that wasn't why I clicked it. I didn't really know.
She's the girl from the Kissing Booth. It's a Netflix movie, you know it.
Okay. Yeah, I've heard of the Kissing Booth thing. It's kind of funny.
And I was looking, what should I Google? The Princess or the Kissing Booth?
Oh, it actually is. Okay, yeah, I thought the title was a reference to, but no, it actually is about
a princess. It's a movie about a
There's
princess.
actually, because, a documentary.
This is not a princess movie.
Wait, I might be on the wrong film then. I'm on a documentary about Princess Diana.
That's why when I was Googling the Princess, that's one of the results I got.
No.
Because it also says it's also 2022.
This is not my second documentary on the film. That comes up far higher on my list.
It has the actors from, what was it? She was in Bullet Train.
Again, they've got fantastic. This is shot to within an inch of its life. It is fucking amazing. Like, the first 10 minutes of the film are just one of the best openings of films that I think I've ever seen. Like, again, I'm trying to avoid telling you what the fuck happens in this film because it's another one of these films that the less you know, the better, because this will fucking give you whiplash and is in the best kind of ways. It is gorgeously shot. It's amazingly acted, and the story is fucking clever.
All right.
It's on Disney Plus / Hulu.
Yeah.
Go watch that shit if you've got them. Okay, number 5. We can move on from this. Prey, fantastic movie, loved it. You know, again, very similar, like nice little playing with tropes, etc. Awesome film.
Yeah, I think I said a lot about the film. Like, anyone else wants to add more stuff, or are you saving it to talk about it?
Yeah, again, they can, whatever. I think I've added what I wanted to. Yeah. So, number 4, Black Panther, Wakanda Forever.
Uh-huh.
Not seen it yet. Same reason as Yaz, been too busy.
Yeah.
I made sure I saw it, and it did bump. Well, no, it didn't actually bump. Something else.
I know Joe actually saw it, and he said that it was very emotional watching the film.
Is sat at number 12. The Adam Project was number 11. So, actually, I can't remember what did bump Doctor Strange off, but Black Panther bumped off the Adam Project when I watched it. Fantastic film. Probably the best way they could have handled everything that was happening.
Yeah.
Like, powerful, good to use, And the fact that you and Andy haven't seen it, I'm going to skip whatever, good soundtrack. Like, the world and etc. Like,
and from what I'm hearing, they did the Namor very well, right?
Yes. It's a very, let's just say, sympathetic version of a bad guy. So it's
because that's what people I know who are fans of the characters were positive about the reception.
The thing is,
he's not a bad guy.
He's not really a bad guy. I mean, long term, he's going to be one of the.
He's an anti-hero in the comic books. The Marvel comics, he's an anti-hero.
Yeah, he's an ambiguous character. Sometimes he is on the good guy side. Sometimes he has tendencies that would be recognizable from a bad guy person. For example,
he's extremely sympathetic.
Yeah. He's also like in the Fantastic Four comics, for example.
Yeah.
There he's more like
he
a bad
flirts
guy.
a lot with Sue in the Fantastic Four comics.
Yes. This is going to be interesting whether this is also going to take place here as well in the MCU.
I mean, like the whole feeling of that, like they're mixing in another cultural thing into Black Panther, which again, from what I've heard, they've done rather well with the the stuff there and the storytelling.
Because they say that they don't want to do Atlantis for Namor and his people. They want to do something different. Because the comic book is that from Atlantis. People say, well, I already saw it with Aquaman. I want to do something different. That's why they created it.
So it's more like Mayan based.
Yeah, South American. And then they lean into a lot of the other shit that's gone, like everything I thought, certain scenes and all the handling of Chadwick Boseman's passing. Fuck you! Like there's a couple of you're gonna make you bawl your eyes out. Couple of things, but done beautifully. Like no.
The only thing that's bothering, that's tarnishing the movie is that it feels like at least half an hour or an hour too long in some points in the movie. And
I heard that some people say that there are some subplots in the movie that felt unnecessary in the film.
Yeah, some plot lines.
That's what I heard.
But again, also we're not going to talk about those subplot lines because
but some feel more like an Age of Ultron kind of setup for other.
That's what I heard. The criticism about the film, and also one question about the film. Everyone's been talking about Angela Bassett. She might win the Best Supporting Actress. Do you think she has a chance?
Probably.
I need to see the category. Have they disqualified the one? Have they
They're
disqualified
not
the
gonna.
one from the?
They're not going to, and even if they did, they're not gonna add someone. That's the best actor. Angela Bassett, supporting actress.
Oh, supporting. Oh,
Yeah.
right, okay,
She's
cool.
going against Jamie Lee Curtis and the daughter from Everybody Ever All at Once.
Let's just say it like that. For me, it was really like
She's in with a shot.
the first movie was basically Chadwick Boseman's movie, and I think one of the major ideas and plot lines of this thing is whenever someone like the patriarch or the male like leader within a family dies, then all the women within this family rise to the occasion and basically try to bring the family back together. And this is basically a main thread throughout the movie. There's so many female black actors in a lead role or in a supporting lead role.
I'd just say female.
Because that's when a lot of people are praising it. Like you don't see a lot of of big budget film with black female actors, more specifically dark skinned black actresses. Because Hollywood, they have this thing because race, and they would keep him light skinned actresses because to make it more safe for people for international market to buy it.
Oh, and these people are very African, etc. And beautifully so. And certain sequences I've seen are like so Africa. So like the opening sequence. Okay, I haven't seen it with the white, but like that is certain places I've seen on yesterday did one about that, where they do the like is spot on for what they do, etc. in certain areas, etc. And it's so culturally, Black Panther, fantastic in my opinion. Like, it was they were dealt such a fucking hard hand. Like with that of like they had their plot, they had whatever. Like, unfortunately, and they managed to like walk that line so well of not recast. It was very difficult what they had to do there with. Do you recast all of that lot? But I'm not going to go anywhere. Everything everywhere, always at once. Going in at number 3 for me.
Mm-hmm.
That was, I think, if I'm mistaken, my number 3 also.
Yeah.
I like that movie, Andy. I hate you.
I know. This is another reason. It's just a general hate.
By the way, Mark, I just checked the best supporting actresses are Angela Bassett for Black Panther, Kerry Condon for The Pension of Ed Sheeran, Hung Shaw for The Whale, that's the Brendan Fraser movie, and what's her name? Jamie Lee Curtis and Stephanie Shu for Everything Ever All at Once. It's a very strong category, by the way.
Damn, you've also spoiled one of the things that I was literally trying to avoid spoiling in Everywhere Always at Once.
Yeah, I'm thinking
because that was like a what the fuck?
I'm trying to I'm trying to compare those things right now in my mind, but I think I would go for Angela Bassett.
Yeah.
I might go for the daughter of Everywhere Always at Once.
Because if I had to pick, it's gonna be a tough one. But right now, it's the daughter.
Again, like I can't say very much more on why I would do that in ones versus the others, especially with people that haven't seen.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Okay, you go ahead.
Everywhere Always at Once. We've already discussed it. This is a film you need to go watch. With again, very much. Just go watch this film. Trust us. Do not be Andy. Make it past the first 30 minutes.
That's fine, Mark. Just make fun of my learning disability, my issue of not being able to do two things at once.
Dude,
single me out.
I have dyspraxia. I have far more learning disabilities than you, and I fucking made it through the film because it's bloody amazing.
I knew that would get him. I knew that would trigger. You're such easy bait.
Yeah, much more severe learning difficulties than you. So yeah. Okay.
So
Number 2.
Oh, fucking hell. I'm going to take these off.
just listen,
back
Andy.
on.
It's not what you think it is.
This became a lot harder after I actually, because this was put onto my list as a joke against Andy.
Right, so I know what it is now. There's a fucking documentary.
No, I mean the two were like.
Yeah. And every time we talk about it, you kept
1 and 2 were like put there as a joke
Yeah.
towards Andy because I hadn't actually seen the documentary. But Friday night I watched the documentary. Clerks 3 documentary. The documentary. The Clerks 3 documentary is the full title. Available on the Blu-ray of Clerks 3. This, again, I am not. But this is not. It was put there as a preemptive joke. But after watching it, Dr. Josh Roush just knows how to like. I know it. I listen to pretty much everything fucking Kevin Smith does. Like, I know every single story about the making of. Watched about the making of Clerks 3, but the saving of the salsa shot, like again, it's they actually shot out of order and like all the rest of it. I knew, you knew that some of the payoff of Clerks 3 had been done very early, but they don't show you any of that. The fact that he just throws up this again in like an animal montage. All he has to do is just throw up the salsa shot to know what he's trying to imply at the very end of it, and it's like you just save that off of like, yeah, I'm not going to show you this because that was so powerful in this film, but you're going to get what I mean by it's such a beautiful documentary about making the greatest film of all time. So, it had to be my number 2. It's got everyone in, it's whatever, like, it's the usual thing. It tells you some other stories that you haven't heard. It is so funny, so whatever. It is. I was debating swapping it for number 1. Put it that way. This is a fantastic documentary directed by an amazing director, Dr. Josh Roush. Please go watch the Simply Sassy podcast where I interview him if you're more interested in knowing about him. But no, it had me in tears multiple times. This is a fantastic documentary about the greatest film of all time. Number 1, Clerks 3. Yay, it's on the list. Oh, 2 6s. Okay. I'm happy.
I mean, I was busy. I didn't have time, like I said.
Yeah, I'm not sure it's even available locally or whatever.
It's available. I remember I told you it's available to rent.
But you also need to watch the other ones before you watch Clerks 3. Otherwise,
I can watch. The first one. I think in one of the services for. I think Pluto TV if I use a VPN.
Go watch Clerks. Yeah, go watch Clerks. Clerks is a fantastic film. Clerks 2 is
even better. Yes.
Nowadays, it might be a little problematic in a few places. But Clerks 3.
Okay.
Again, this is a movie that, seriously, you've heard me talk about Everywhere Always at Once. You've heard me talk about The Princess. You've heard me talk about Meet Cute. Like, this is a film where I'm going to have to be very cagey because I do not want to spoil this for you, because this is the most powerful movie I've ever watched in a cinema. I bawled my eyes out for 30 fucking minutes in a cinema. I then had to stand and talk to the person I was with for an hour and a half before I could get on the train. This film fucking hits hard. This delivers the movie you're expecting, and then delivers something I truly think multiple people from this deserve to be nominated for an Oscar. I would say the sound, like the soundtrack. The soundtrack really does a lot of heavy lifting in this film as well. But I think both of the leads, maybe some of the supporting characters, but both of the leads deliver performances that I've known these people for nearly 30 years now, and they surprise the shite out. And I've watched hundreds of hours of footage of them. Let's say through interviews and all the rest of it of Brian Erwin and Jeff Anderson. I've seen them in all of their performances in Kevin Smith films, but they, in this, deliver something unique. It is a heartfelt, beautiful film, and I'm just glad there wasn't a third hand.
Right.
In a certain scene. Again, I'm being very vague with that. If you've seen it, you might know what I'm talking about. I'll tell you afterwards, Andy.
Thank you. I'm very confused.
Yeah. But this is honestly the most impactful cinema experience I've ever had. The most over Endgame, over anything.
Right.
I really want to kick it lower on my list, the amount you're praising it.
Cinema was silent. No one moved an inch throughout the credits.
It's because there was no one else in there.
No, there were people in there. No one said a fucking word or did anything. Again, I was watching it the Prince Charles at the first screening of this film. So
Prince Charles was at the screening for
I think it was King Charles by then.
No, yeah, well, he was. Yes. And they had a sign up on the door which said, I assure you, we are not changing our name. Which I thought, and it was also tilted at this angle. It was just just screaming of clerks, I assure you we're open. It was just oh, that's just brilliant when I showed up. But I watched it with someone that I gave away the ticket to. I was just a Kevin Smith fan, and oh my god, but it was just that film is. I do not know how they managed to pull that off for a Clerks 3.
Yeah.
So that is my top 10.
All right. Do you have any honorable mentions you want to name?
Oh yeah, do you want me to go through? So number 11, as it was listed, Adam Project. Number 12, Doctor Strange. Then in no particular order, Top Gun Maverick.
Mm-hmm.
You heard my bitch about that. The Samaritan.
That's the Stallone movie, right?
That was a good movie.
Yeah, that was
better than Maverick. Enola Holmes 2.
All right.
I really enjoyed that movie. That was a fun, that was a solid ass movie. And The Bubble.
Yeah.
Hey, a film I've seen.
Of course, he saw The Bubble.
I have props when we get to that. Don't worry.
Okay. So thanks, Mark. So I think now we can go to Kai's list now, right?
Okay. The thing is, right now, most of the movies have been mentioned in one case or another. So I basically start off with my horrible mentions, so to say. So first of all, as we were mentioning before, I haven't really watched also lots of movies last year.
Yep.
So it turned out that some of the movies that I watched were pretty crap. And one of the first things that we were having there, I never really had thought about it, putting it there, but as you've been mentioning it earlier, I had to put it on this horrible mentions list, namely Morbius, which is I have no fucking idea how this movie got approved or how they want to
whatever
do
Matt
this.
Smith does shirtless.
Even if you're thinking about that, there are also like a what was it, a Bad Bunny Spider-Man movie.
Hey, the one he's the Russell.
In the next couple of years, and also like I have no idea why they're going for those random Spider-Man characters, except
They want to keep the rights of Spider-Man.
Yes, that's my conspiracy theory as well, that they basically need to churn out like random side character movies just
Isn't
to
like
get
Madam
big
Web
Spider-Man.
next, and
Yes,
Craven
Madam
the
Web.
Hunter, and just
These two
Craven
are
the Hunter is
the
Craven the Hunter is, I think, in September, October this year.
me. That's
I
But
mean, we know
there's
what they're doing
also-
with Crave, right? That they're making him a vegetarian. He cares for the animals. That's
What?
what?
yeah.
Sorry,
And Anthony
Craven the
Johnson
Hunter's
said,
gone woke.
yeah, he said in an
Actively.
interview, like Anthony Johnson, hey, he's one of the best Marvel movie that he cares for the environment and the animals. That's what he said.
Yeah.
People like, wait, what? He said if you Google right now, you see Anthony Johnson talking about this, and people were
Do they
mad.
know what the word hunter means?
Maybe he hunts the humans, the people, the butchers who butcher animals. Maybe that's what they're doing.
The thing is, I wanted to have this on the list because of I have to say it, most atrocious post-credit scene I've ever seen. I haven't seen I've seen actors phoning it in, but this was literally phoning it in.
I mean, the last, I don't want to spoil, but if that last shot and that you can obviously that it was dubbed over.
I mean, I feel like we can't spoil because I don't think anyone generally gives
You know
a
what?
fuck
We'll
about
spoil
Morbius anymore.
Morbius.
Fuck it, it's Morbius. If you haven't watched it by now and you still care, this is on you because you either don't give a shit.
I mean,
or
hey,
if you did, you've seen this.
you know what? That's the only one we're gonna spoil because fuck this movie overall.
Yeah.
Next on my horrible mentions list is Jurassic World Dominion, a movie.
That's the one where I was like, Andy will enjoy.
I haven't seen it yet. My friend at work likes it, but I'm not
I
a
have
Jurassic
to. I
Park
have to
fan.
say. I have to say.
Greg
there are-
likes this movie or Fallen Kingdom. Greg Miller.
I feel like it's Fallen Kingdom because I fucking hate Fallen Kingdom. That movie's awful.
Let's just say it like that. There are two versions of this movie, and I only watched the extended version.
Does it make
And
it worse?
I actually had more fun with it. I don't know. I haven't seen the original movie in the theater cut. I actually had quite fun. Of course, there are so many side plots and stuff that's not really like Jurassic Park stuff. But to some degree, I had fun with it. And at some point, it more felt like a dinosaur version of Star Trek Generations. And if you know this kind of reference, yeah, that was this one. Then the next movie on my horrible mentions list is a movie where I need to think that it was a very bad decision for humanity to introduce Michael Bay to the technology of drones, drone cameras, because basically at some point he's just doing like drone shots everywhere. Just around.
I actually enjoyed this film.
Really?
Yeah, I like
What
Michael
film is
Bay
it?
movie. It's the one where Jake Gyllenhaal steals an ambulance. He's a bank robber.
Yeah. And basically the entire movie is just thinking about like speed, but with a ambulance.
I feel like he was trying to make a Tony Scott film. That's what it felt like. If Tony Scott, if he did this, it would have been
also,
better.
he wanted to make a cheap movie. I think they only spent like between 30 and 40 million on this one.
Yeah.
But at some point when he's doing like 180 360 degree shots with the drones,
that's the same thing I had with The Gray Man, which I don't even talk about.
That's the next one on my list, The Gray Man, because the Russos also for some reason started using drone shots, and I wasn't really like buying like I really liked Ama de Armas role in this movie, but I didn't really like care for whatever Chris Evans and
Apologies, guys. We were just laughing at what Andy did right now.
okay.
Yeah, but is it Ryan Gosling? I think it's
Yeah,
what
Ryan
I was going to say.
Gosling. Thank you.
Chris Evans was the best part in the film.
Yeah, I mean,
having
at some
fun.
point they basically destroy Brock. Not really like a spoiler for that, but
You see it in the trailer, the action sequence.
You see the trailer, but let's just say like that. It's more like a generic action movie at some point. But I'm really interested in just seeing like whether this they really go for a like Netflix franchise kind
They
of.
announced a
action
sequel and a
thing.
spin-off.
Yeah. No, I mean, they also have this movie with Chris Hemsworth. It's also getting like a sequel this year.
I think they filmed it, everything. It's just post
Yeah,
production.
they already filmed it, but it feels pretty similar in tone. And
it's the same people. The Russo are producing it. Oh.
Yeah.
The reason. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you now. We're having technical issues.
Again, the reason I was showing the drink was because Andy went and got some bullshit can of pre-mixed can earlier.
All I had in the fridge.
How real men drink.
So next on my horrible mentions list is a movie I have to put on this list because of my German heritage, or at least to honor this one Swabian filmmaker that has been like
I know what you're talking about.
Gracing the screens for over 20 to 30 years now. It's the guy I'm talking about is Roland Emmerich, and it's called Moonfall. And
oh God!
I see.
You actually saw that.
People are loving it for how bad it is.
I have no idea what went in there because I think if you're looking at like the masterclass that he did with Independence Day, Stargate, and to some degree also like the end of the Day After Tomorrow, afterwards it really like fell off like 2012 and all the other Independence Day too. And Moonfall is basically like the strangest premise you could really think of. Like, what happens if suddenly the moon crashes into the Earth or gets closer to Earth, and all hell breaks loose? So, yeah, whatever. At least lots of like destruction. It's basically a destruction porn again. But it's not really like a fun sort of like destruction.
Are we still in the honourable mentions only?
Yes.
It's a shit
We
list.
haven't even got to the top 10 yet.
He added, one. It was originally I think 5. He added now 6.
I was adding Morbius there, and the last one on my horrible mentions list is Matrix 4.
That's I think in 2020. It came out in 2020.
Yeah, it's the end of 2021. But yeah, no one saw it.
Let's just say like that. I only saw it in September, but God, what did they dare? I mean, I have to say, I think Paris Lily on the podcast of Kind of Funny said it best. I think they. I think Lily Wachowski at some point was asked after they tried to reboot the Matrix for several times, and they didn't get the production running, and then eventually they went back to Lily Wachowski, say like, please write.
I think Lana directed this one.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, Lana directed and Lily didn't.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Yeah, sorry.
I have to check it. I think it's Lana, if I'm not mistaken.
Anyway,
I thoroughly enjoyed that movie.
It really felt like let's give this movie one last version where afterwards nobody really like would want to touch this franchise anymore. And I was pretty, yeah.
I mean, it got some amazing action, and it
does have amazing action. But the thing that was astonishing me from the beginning, like the cinematography that they had from the first movie, or to some degree also like the second one, I didn't really feel there as well.
I don't know. Again, it's not as bad as some of the other sequels.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
That's right. I think the third one is still somewhat worse, and I really, to some degree, also like the second one, because they have this like action scene in the castle, which is like
hey, we got that awesome
reference action scenes of all time. Actually,
we got that awesome Unreal 5 engine demo on the PS5 from this film.
Yeah,
which
also,
is just insane.
I was reading about it. Yes, it is Lana Wachowski, and apparently Tom Hardy has a background cameo in the film because they were shooting the Matrix 4 and Venom 2 at the same time.
Yeah.
That will give an excuse for Andy to go and watch to see Tom Hardy. Where is he?
Yeah.
I'm not a Tom Hardy fan. As much as people may believe it, I'm not. Yeah, it's fine.
The thing is, at the same time, another movie was shot, and this is on my list and hasn't been mentioned before. So I'm going now a little bit faster over my list. So number 10 is For Love and Thunder. It's a little bit downwards on my list because I felt that the thing that actually drew me to this movie, which is the storyline of the Mighty Four from the comics, and I think they came out in around 2014 to 2015-16. They kind of glossed over there because this was one of the rare comics where when I read the last issue, I was actually in tears to some degree because of what happens there with the character there.
Yeah,
and I really thought that they clocked over this storyline in the movie. They basically made it.
They pulls it back at the end a bit, but
it comes back to some degree. But I don't really think that they could have. I think they could have stressed it a little bit better throughout the entirety of the movie.
Yeah, I don't know. I might have derailed it a little bit.
Anyway, so the next one on my list is The Batman, which I thought was a little bit too dark. I mean,
visually or the movie, the tone.
The cinematography.
Both.
I mean, from the story perspective,
I mean, at least what you can say about Blade Runner is you could see those long shots. In the Batman, you couldn't even bloody see them. So it was like, for fuck's sake, what the hell are you doing here?
So that I really liked it, but I felt like the last part of the movie really didn't really need it to be in the movie. But I'm looking forward to the second movie when it's eventually coming out.
I'm looking forward to Joker 2 way more.
I
like Joker. Well, no, because Joker 2 is like, again, I don't like musicals, but like, is Lady Gaga musical? That sounds way more interesting.
It's surely interesting, but let's just say like that. I had some bad viewing experiences during Joker 1 when it came out.
I'm not saying again. I'm not, but like the fact that they've like just completely like Joker 1, and then it's like now we're making a musical for Joker 2, like with people is like. That's more interesting.
Let's just say like that. We had a long discussion last week about all these DC properties.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be within the Elseworlds brand. We've talked about the branding extensively last week. Therefore, I'm really looking forward what they're kind of doing in that direction.
They get to do whatever the fuck they want, basically, don't they? Which is way more interesting, I think, than some of the other ones, which is just like.
So coming to my number 8, which is the only movie right now which hasn't been mentioned yet, which was also being shot at the same time when Venom was being shot in Berlin, and Matrix movie was shot in Berlin. Uncharted, which was actually a fun action movie to some degree.
Wait, is that 2022?
Yeah, beginning February.
Okay, it can be added to my honorable mentions. Then I didn't realize that was actually this year.
I'm not really stuck to the entire franchise. I played 1 and 2, halfway through 3. Never really started.
Golden Abyss is the best Uncharted game.
Yeah, but it's not really like playable right now for me.
Yes, it is. You just get a Vita and get the card.
No, I'm not buying a Vita. It's too late for that.
Kai, are you saying you never had a Vita?
No, I never had one.
Marcus said his Vita right now.
I mean,
kind of funny fan. Kind of funny fan.
I have to say, my PlayStation started once I was listening to PS I Love You XOXO, the original first season, and I bought my first PlayStation in 2015 or late 2015.
Yeah, but how did you not also buy a Vita then? Yeah.
No, at that point they were also mentioning during PS I Love You XOXO, they were explicitly mentioning if you're buying Vita right now, you're one of the bad ones because you bought it too late. And at that point, I never really bothered. So
the Vita has a. You want to talk about cat? Oh yeah, yeah. Let's not derail this.
Anyways, let's talk about the movie. The only thing that's quite bothering me is that like the characterizations of Sully was, let's just say like that. Mark Wahlberg played the most Mark Wahlberg he could play for this kind of role.
Maybe Ted. We're talking about Mark Wahlberg basically playing Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah, but I actually enjoyed this movie. It was a little bit too short. I think it could have run a little bit longer. Just like quite the opposite of the next movie, which I'm going to mention. It's number 7 on my list. It's Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. Again, Mark already talked about it. I really liked how they included the circumstances around the passing of Chadwick Boseman around it. You really felt it throughout the movie, not only from the characters, but also like from the cinematography, from the entire setup of the movie, everyone behind the camera. You really felt it throughout this entire movie. A little bit in the middle, they kind of losing this thread, but once they're getting to the end of it, you're really like stuck again, and you're really getting shown that this movie is completely dedicated to Chadwick's legacy at that point. And
the again, without actually saying anything about what it is, but the end of the movie, the initial credits, what's going on during that, to the mid-credit scene. Oh my god, how fucking brilliant was that? And was it Rihanna?
Yeah.
A bit like a Rihanna, like original Rihanna song over the top of it.
Who is going to be in the halftime in about 2 or 3 hours? Once they're doing the halftime break for the Super Bowl.
Yeah, we might have finished the podcast.
Yeah, we might finish in at least within the next hour or so when the kickoff starts. That's why I'm going to speed run through. Next one on my list is Clerks 3. I really liked it, and it really felt like a personal movie from Kevin Smith because of like his own experiences, not only like on the movie side. I mean, like the production of the original Clerks movie, but also like his own personal stuff happening in the background within the last 5 or 6 years, with him having a heart attack and then completely changing his life around it. So this really felt like a personal ending for this trilogy of movies.
And they get everyone back who's still alive.
Yes.
In the best ways. And did you realise that most of where you get a returning cameo, if there's like anyone the younger with them, that is their real life kids.
Yeah.
And all the rest of it that they then bring in, etc. It's beautiful. And Mark Bernardin's cameo. It's just brilliant. Just perpetuate the joke of Mark Van Hunt does not get a single fucking line. They came in.
So coming to number 5 on my list, which had me Elvis put there. I actually kind of like in my own the viewing experience that I had was a little bit different there because I watched it 3 months later when it came into the cinema, and it was also like an event with like a restaurant where you can get American stuff for lunch and then afterwards go into watch the movie. So that was like a very nice afternoon for me, and I really liked the whole portrayal of like you're not really seeing Tom Hanks as a bad guy. So when you were mentioning this earlier, some persons don't really like those kind of characterizations. I actually appreciated him like changing from his usual personality and usual roles that he's been cast in, and really like
it's hard to see Tom Hanks as a bad guy actually. That's
yeah,
thing.
but it works.
But it also, I think that works on that character. Again, I haven't seen the film, but also I know about is it the Colonel?
Yeah, Colonel Tom.
Yeah, it's Colonel, yeah.
Yeah, like his manager. Lots of people never saw him as a bad guy. But some of the shit that he pulled, behind the scenes, was really fucked up. Like it was, he was a really accommodating person, until you realise what the fuck he was, and the fraud he was perpetrating behind the scenes, maybe, and all the rest, which are always those kind of characters. They are, but that's what they are like in life. That's how they get away with this shit.
Yeah, and the thing was, when I was mentioning earlier this one remix of Viva Las Vegas together with Britney Spears' Toxic, I think this is a pretty good analogy actually, because Britney Spears basically has the same kind of life up until like last year, that she is being held down by her father, and this basically is the same thing that the Colonel does to Elvis to some degree. And I think this is a pretty interesting parallel that you could spin in both their personal histories.
I need to watch this with my dad because he loves Elvis.
Yeah, I think people who love Elvis will love this film. That's the general response I hear from Elvis fans. But tell him it's about a 3-hour long movie. I think it's 2 hours and 47 minutes, something like this. It's a long movie.
Okay, so I need to start it about like 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Otherwise, I better not rent it off Amazon, because otherwise it will take us 3 weeks to watch.
Alright, you guys don't have HBO Max in the UK.
No, it's basically on Sky.
Yeah.
So we're 3 years away.
So, speed running through, my number 4 on my list is Glass Onion, Knives Out Mystery. Again, this is a pretty well redone movie. Really liked the setup, really liked basically Daniel Craig, really relaxed, not really like a high tension kind of character like in the James Bond movies, and this one really relaxed. Really...
But this said in an interview, like when he was doing Bond, he was very, he was not very tough, excited, wasn't in a good mood, but for this one he was happy. He said he's
and I think we want more movies of like Daniel Craig being like happy and stuff like that. It doesn't really need to be a Benoit Blanc movie.
He's doing a movie with Luca Guadagnino, the director of Call Me by Your Name. It's a book called Queer. I think it's the one that the guy who did I forgot his name. I think it's the same guy who wrote Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas.
Andres Thompson.
Yes, I think that's him.
Whoa. Okay, you got my interest. What's going on?
His book, I think it's called Queer. He wrote a book called Queer Hunter.
Queer? Did he?
Let me check.
I haven't read that one.
Let me check.
And so it's Fear and Loathing. There's the.
I think I might got the wrong
motorcycle one.
person. Let me check.
Yeah, no, I don't think Hunter S.
No,
Thompson
William S.
necessarily-
Burroughs. It's William S. Burroughs.
Okay, yeah. I was going to say Hunter didn't address that. He addressed a lot of other things.
He's
Carry
the
on.
guy who wrote Naked Lunch. That Cronenberg did a film. So I'm thinking of a different author. That's my apology.
Okay.
Alright.
Then coming to my number 3 on my list, Spray. Again, I really thought it was. I'm not really like saying it was a shadow drop, but it was like interesting to see it just directly going.
Yeah.
to
I
the
wish
doctor.
I wish I knew. I wish I didn't know.
Yeah.
The connection.
I think
When
that's
I
what they
watched
were
it.
originally planning to do, because I think because it got reported a deadline, they got that they're making a Predator film with Dan Trent, and he tweeted like, "Yes, we are making Predator, but I wish that isn't that how you guys found out about the film." I think they were going to shadow drop it, but it got leaked.
I really liked the whole premise of it, and reintroducing to this franchise again, because the last movies I never really like. The last
It was armies versus, wasn't it? Like this is the more like the traditional like.
the last one that I was seeing was Predators with an S.
Oh,
that
that's the one with Adrian Brody, right?
Yeah, exactly, the Adrian Brody one, which was more like a survival movie, and
People actually love this movie, I think, more than the other films. This and 2.
yeah, two is strange. I mean, we already had it on the podcast.
Yeah, I did an episode with Joe and
and there was also like this one Predator movie,
The Predator.
in a suburb.
Yeah, that's the last one before this. The
Yeah,
Shane
I
Black
never
did.
really watched that one, but this one was, I think, Return to Form, and I really liked Amber
dog.
Thunder's performance there.
The dog.
Oh, that's right, the dog, and he was good also.
Yeah, the dog.
Yeah, that was a good boy. That was a good boy.
And I'm actually looking forward whether they are doing a sequel within this timeline. I really hope so.
And
Then
also, one last thing about
No, I
Prey.
hope they just like
Do like different type. People say go
Jump.
samurai. We have the
Go
samurai
to
Predator
China.
and the samurai. That's what people were saying. This.
Yeah.
Yes.
Go somewhere else. Go anywhere else. Like interesting place in history,
Yeah.
and insert Predator.
Yeah.
Like that is such a fantastic samurai would be good. You know,
Yeah.
like King Arthur,
King of.
whatever. You know, or any other words. You know, like go back to like the beginning of man and like in Africa. Or
Well,
something.
they established that Prey is actually the first time they come to Earth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do they? Oh, right.
Okay.
Yeah.
No. Right?
They somehow do, yeah. I think.
No, but that's not. I thought there's been others.
Anyway,
And
Again,
also-
there's different tribes. There's different tribes, so that may only apply to that tribe
I don't know.
of the
Maybe.
predators.
One last
Yeah.
thing about Prey. We mentioned Prey. Because I know we know Amazon's making that. They said they want to make a Tomb Raider film. Get Dan Trentberg to direct the film, because after seeing Prey, I was like, I can see influence of the 2013 game in it. Okay,
Yeah,
Okay, continue,
yeah.
Kai.
I'm jumping to number 2 on my list, which is YAZ's number 1, Top Gun Maverick. I basically had a back-to-back viewing of like the original Top Gun movie, and then a week later I was watching Top Gun Maverick, and again, I think it was a mistake from my part that I didn't watch it on a big screen. That's totally on me, because when you're feeling like the action sequence within the last hour of the movie, compared to other movies, you don't really see like actual physical effects happening on actors.
Well, that's because it's all real.
Yes, exactly. That's what I was going for, because you really see that, like, the G forces.
They're actually in the fucking plane doing
the G forces are really like putting like them into the seats and pushing them backwards, and this is
affecting their faces and voices and
and this is basically like the biggest special effect, so to say, of the entire movie. And it could go horribly wrong, because
but it's going up some completely fictitious, like the whole thing, like is some completely fictitious, like completely unrealistic location as well. Like the whole like
at that point, I don't bother at all, because for me it's like, okay, you are in this constructed situation. How the
completely fake?
Don't care. How do you get out of there? And what happens afterwards? And I think those things really put me at the edge of my seat when I was watching it. It's one of those movies where usually you're either lying on the couch or you're sitting straight upwards and then basically like leaning forwards. And the only thing that was happening to me also during the last year was during Glass Onion, where I was basically through the entire thing, like sitting straight forward, and I was trying to figure out who the murderer is. And the same thing was happening here at Top Gun.
Watch the princess. Watch the princess.
Well, really wanted to see, okay, how does this thing actually end, whether something happens and stuff like that. And then also sniping now at towards Andy. Everything Everywhere All at Once was a movie that I was watching. This is my number one. Was a movie that I was watching in May when I was in Cologne. And I'm not really sure. I've been telling this story probably a couple of times now, and everybody knows it probably. But there are two things that were happening. So I either got COVID during the Dua Lipa concert or during watching Everything Everywhere All at Once. Regardless, both of them were worth it. Getting COVID for it afterwards. This movie is fantastic.
Yeah.
And it's basically when I would have like asked myself at the beginning of 2022, I would have probably said that Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness would probably end up on this list at the end. And obviously it isn't on the list, because I was thinking this is for me better multiverse movie. And I'm a sucker for multiverse movies. What?
I mean, you said it enough times. We all know what it is. I mean, most people have obviously seen the trailer and it's been spoiled for them at some point.
Oh, fuck. So, sorry. It deals with, let's just say it like that. It deals with the consequences happening within some form of multiversal traversal and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And to that end, it was a better version of this kind of storytelling than Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. That's basically my thing to knock off Doctor Strange there as well, because it didn't really like. I mean, it's also like a sort of horror movie, but it isn't. It's more like an action movie. Also, it's not like an action movie. It's a mixture of everything, and it does have some fun elements. But I think overall, this is a much better version of this kind of storytelling, and therefore.
This again also like is way better than Doctor Strange. So, like again, like this is not. Don't think Doctor Strange multiverse like this is.
I have to say
unique and something you've never seen before and something so clever.
I have to say Everything Everywhere All at Once is basically the movie I wanted Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness to be.
Yeah.
And
rock with googly eyes.
that's basically the end of my list.
Yeah.
All right, should we end it now then? Yeah. Okay,
let's
great.
give end it, then we have to end it with Joe's list.
Yeah.
Damn.
Right, I'm going to preface one. You've saved the best till last. You haven't. You've saved the best till
No, I
last.
saved Joe's for last.
The worst.
Yeah, exactly. You saved the best till last. You saved Joe for last. He is the best. I should have preface. I've seen 15 movies. There are 2 movies that you've talked about that I didn't like. So I didn't like Prey. It's not my sort of movie. I watched it at work, and it was not a Predator fan, so it was fine.
Yeah, watched it at work on your fucking phone.
No, I watched it on me and my colleague watched it together. He has an iPad, so it was a fairly decent screen. But that's the same. That's the same reason I have. See, that's why I haven't watched I haven't seen Black Panther, because it came out at the worst possible time for me. Like with work, I had to travel with this crap, and I don't want I don't want to watch that on my tablet. That deserves a big telly, all my attention. So I haven't watched that yet. And then the other one thing, I don't like the Batman. Seen it twice. That was too many times. So they're not on the list. We're just going to ignore those. And luckily, there's quite a few things you haven't talked about. Now, number 10, this nearly got kicked off. This is going to probably piss people off. This was nearly dethroned by The Secrets of Dumbledore. Equally, not a good film. Better than the second one. I like Mads Mikkelsen. I like some of the cast.
The response I hear about this film is that it's better than the previous Fantastic Beasts.
Yeah,
That's the only positive thing I heard. And Matt Mikkelsen was good in it.
Yeah, so they're good. The second one is awful, so it couldn't get much worse. It only got kicked off because it's still... the writing of the story itself is still fucking stupidly complicated. And
they tried to bring Stephen Knowles, the writer of the Harry Potter films, to come rewrite the script and everything.
Yeah, so like her or not, stick to books, stop writing fucking movies, you're bad at it. And the fact that this ends on a cliffhanger and they're not making any more, that's really dumb. So my actual number 10...
Well, no, it's not, because it's like no one was watching those films. Or very few people.
That's what I mean, yes. That's why it ends on a cliffhanger, but they're not making a 4th or 5th, so it's stupid. So my actual number 10 is Thor: Love and Thunder. A film I actually don't really like. It's purely that I haven't seen many films.
Okay.
This is just because I like the first 10 minutes. That, the Welcome to the Jungle bit, all of that, the revenge of Thor with his red leather vest, and I'm like, that was cool. The Mighty Thor stuff was really interesting. The comedy, 95% of it missed for me. The biggest laugh this movie got from me was the after credit scene. Purely from the casting choice.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. I laughed so hard in the cinema and no one else did. So no one else got it. So I just looked like a twat.
See it with Mark. You should have gone see it with Mark, that's all I'll say.
God, that would have been the best. The entire time home, I was singing a certain theme in my head over again. So that's that one. Number 9.
We've now got 2 of them in the MCU. Thanks to
yes, we do. Both in after credit scenes.
Yeah, both.
Both post credit scenes, possibly never to appear again.
Well, one of them definitely is, but yeah.
He said he's not sure. He hasn't heard anything from it yet. But
no. I mean, one of them definitely is, because the character they announced is definitely in the MCU and coming back.
Yes, but so the person in Thor, that actor, has said he's heard nothing. He may never turn up. He may just be there for there. It could be a Mordo from Doctor Strange 1.
No, that's MCU talk. The other one,
we will. I am not convinced. We shall see what happens. But yes.
Yeah.
So number 9. Again, haven't watched many films. So my number 9 is The Bubble of Netflix.
Decent movie.
I have seen it once. Honestly, that was enough. It was an enjoyable once.
Shut up, Patel.
I mean, the cast itself is just Gus Card, Kate McKinnon, David Duchovny, Fred Armisen, James McAvoy, Keegan-Michael Key, Leslie Mann, Karen Gillan, Mary Bakalova, and Pedro Pascal. And I have props for this one. So I lost my shit when bada and bada. If you've seen the film, it will make sense. If not, I look like a nut. Well, I'll just do that in case you can't see who they are.
I know what they're talking about.
There we go. There are odd moments in this film that had me in fucking stitches. It was just a fun,
It's not a great movie, but it's an enjoyable movie.
Exactly. It is like, I think everyone there is just thought, let's just have a dumb, stupid film. Everyone's acting like, pandemic was shit for most of us. Let's just sort of poke fun at it. For me as a person who deals with comedy as a coping mechanism, perfect for me.
The trainer screens.
Yes.
And some of them that were just like Oh yeah, they were some fucking good jokes. Yeah.
And just the fact that Pedro Pascal is just a massive cokehead, it was so fun. It was just fun actors having fun, which I always like to see. Number 8.
And a really clever idea for trying to make a film in the pandemic. Literally make it about having to make a film in the pandemic and the controls. So your entire film is within those controls.
There's like so many films that have generally had this problem. So yeah, let's just fuck it. But yeah, number 8 is The Adam Project. Perfectly fine, serviceable action movie.
That's actually my honorable mention, if I decided to mention it.
I say, I know it's been a few people on through mentions. It's 2 hours of Ryan Reynolds. I'm always here for that.
11th movie. I can't remember what knocked it off, but yeah.
The plot is the only thing that's a bit bit generic and obvious, but still fun. Ryan Reynolds, Mark Ruffalo.
Come on, Jennifer Garner.
No, I was thinking, not Zoe.
Jennifer Garner.
No, Gamora.
Zoe Saldana.
It was Zoe. Thank you, Zoe Saldana. I'm like, fuck. Why am I blanking on her name? But yeah, again, fun action film. Nothing wrong with it. Nothing amazing. Ryan Reynolds. That's all I need. I watched a thing about football. I hate football. I'm so tempted now to buy a fucking Wrexham shirt just because I love that.
That's the point.
Yeah. Again, I've started Always Sunny in Philadelphia because I just love that show with them too. So,
I mean, and that was the whole point. Again, that show is, if you haven't watched it, Welcome to Wrexham is a phenomenal show in its own right without even giving a shit about Ryan Reynolds or Rob McNamee. It is a fascinating story about a town.
Yeah, just a small Welsh town. Well, it's a city now, but yeah, small Welsh city and just the locals, and it's actually just interesting with fun stuff sprinkled in. But yeah. So number 7, as Kai mentioned, Uncharted. Fun action adventure movie. Always down for that. Tom Holland, a lot of fun. Mark Wahlberg, wasn't sure about that. I like them together. They had good chemistry, but it's not Sully. But I give it, could have been better. But for video game movies, we've had so much worse.
It's not
I will take
Sonic. Sonic's better.
I've seen Sonic 2. That's not on my list because I didn't like the second one.
It's on. Was that applicable this year?
Yeah, it
yes,
came out
this year.
Okay.
There was not enough Jim Carrey in it for me. The first one was made for me by Jim Carrey.
Idris Elba as Knuckles.
So we did. I forgot we had that.
Yeah, you should put it on the list. Replace that Uncharted with this.
Not a chance. Uncharted to stay there because Uncharted was better than Sonic.
No.
I can make a case for
Idris Elba over Mark Wahlberg.
I could make a case for
again.
Sonic,
I would
not
pick,
Sonic 2.
I would pick Idris Elba over Mark Wahlberg, but I haven't. I haven't seen Sonic, so I'd still go. Uncharted was a decent movie.
It's the reason why you should watch Sonic 2.
I mean, yeah. I'm going to skip it. I was hoping for Mark to not be here for this one. But number 6 is Clerks 3.
Yes! Good movie.
Oh,
Jesus fucking Christ. Sorry about that. That was Mark. It's... I've talked to Mark about we spoke about this on Zoom. I'm talking publicly. I'm not a massive fan of stoner Kevin Smith. I don't like Reboot very much. And, this is fine. This is purely... I go to Kevin Smith movies for comedies. I like simple-ish stories with smart comedy. So hence why I like Clerks and Clerks 2. Dogma, not exactly simple story, but clever comedy. This Clerks 3 is only here because the emotion or the heart of the film is what gets it going. It's just not what I want. You go out for takeaway. If you're in the mood for a burger, but you go KFC. KFC is a good choice, but it's not a burger. It's just some chicken. That was a terrible analogy. It made more sense in my head.
You can get lots of chicken burgers.
But you know what I mean? You go for one thing, you get a second thing. The second thing is still good. It's not what you wanted. That makes sense?
But it's still amazing. Again, KFC, amazing. So,
yeah, well, yeah, KFC is amazing. There's some good comedy in there, just not enough for me. And it's like, yeah, okay, I see what you're going for, but could have been better. But still, enjoyable film. It's on my list, Mark, so shut up.
Watch the documentary. It is so fucking good.
No, because I paid £15 to rent it just so I could watch it and you would shut up.
And then you cancelled the
I then cancelled my Blu-ray. I'm like, I've seen this now. I don't need to own this.
Yeah. I also looked through my iTunes thing, and it's also not available there throughout the.
You have to get the Blu-ray.
You have to get the physical Blu-ray. That's annoying. I think it'd be
always buy Kevin Smith physical media, because it won't be on a fucking streaming service or to rent it anywhere. When you want to watch it later.
I haven't bought a physical Blu-ray or DVD within the last year, I think.
Yeah, but
I don't think I have. I think my last was Suicide Squad
for me because in the last couple of years I basically bought a Blu-ray or DVD like on a weekly basis, and right now I'm basically buying everything on like digital.
No, buy it seriously. Buy your Kevin Smith Blu-rays, etc. Like, because they get removed from services and all the rest of it. There's like,
yeah, I'm happy. But now, number 6. I had to take this jacket off because I have to do this. Pocket headphones are falling.
What?
I am Cornholio. I need TP for my bunghole.
No.
So my number 5 is Beavis and Butthead Do the Multiverse.
Okay.
What?
I had so much fucking fun.
What?
As you don't know,
what?
It's a Paramount Plus exclusive Beavis and Butthead movie. So they did do America 20 something years ago, and then this year they released Do the Multiverse, and it's a bit
Paramount Plus exclusive.
Yeah, so it's another multiverse movie because it's the year of the multiverse, obviously, and it's just fucking funny. It is Graz stupid comedy, and I'm here for all of it.
What? There was this Beavis and Butthead movie.
Yeah.
Fuck.
And by the way, guys, in case you're wondering why I was quiet, I was looking at that Flash trailer right now.
Oh god, we'll get to that one shortly.
Andy, the thing is,
there's a new Flash trailer.
Right now, you basically screwed up my list.
Why?
Because I was forgetting one movie.
What did you forget?
Beavis and Butthead.
Chip and Chap. Not the Chip and Chap.
Chip and Dale.
Chip and Dale. That's the.
Oh, the rescue. Right. Okay. Yeah. No.
Yeah.
No, not the Chippendales with
Come in.
That was a good. That was a good series. That's a good show.
Completely different.
I haven't finished that. Yeah.
No, but Chip and Dale. I think this would have been pretty high on my list. Thinking about it afterward, but I actually forgot it. Yeah.
Well, I mean, that isn't a good sign about a film.
I hadn't got around to watching that yet, but yeah.
I was at the beginning. I was looking through all the movies that I was seeing, but because it was like on Disney Plus, it wasn't really like on the box office mojo list, and therefore like didn't.
You just forgot about it, yeah. So that's fair, yeah. To be, I did that. I just googled movies of 2022. I'm like, no, I've seen that. Right, that one. No, I've seen that right there. So like, I got to Beavis and Butthead. I was like, oh shit, that was this year, and that was really fucking fun.
Yeah.
Paramount Plus is possibly is a really bad, in my opinion, a bad streaming service. It's up there with or down there with Apple TV.
I mean,
for a month or two.
Fuck you.
No, you get it for a month or two. Binge what you want to watch, then cancel it. You don't keep it.
Yeah.
Like, so I watched this. I watched the South Park stuff, which annoyingly didn't count. Which
Shrinking
another thing
is really fucking good.
Another thing, we didn't mention this at the beginning. The 2 Marvel specials were excluded from our list because they weren't technically movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which,
So
yeah,
Werewolf
yeah,
by
right.
Night would have probably have been on there, maybe Guardians.
Yeah, same for me, and that was why I couldn't include the South Park Streaming Wars, because although that was a movie, it's listed as a movie. It's sort of 2 episode specials.
I mean, basically, if you're putting both movies together, then it's a proper movie. Because
Yeah, it's about an hour and 45-ish altogether. Anyway. Yeah. Number 4, a film none of you have had on, which I know. Well, I think someone has. Doctor Strange 2.
Yeah.
No,
It's all honorable mentions for us.
Right. Again, it's a fun film. I just enjoy Benedict Cumberbatch.
See, Thor was on more lists than Doctor Strange.
I don't get that. Like, oh my god, Doctor Strange is not perfect. Fucking Wanda being Wanda was a lot of fun. Just awesome. I am fully here for that. She was such a good actor, so well performed.
She was the highlight of the movie.
The initial scene, yes, but then afterwards, like, just.
I mean, there were some issues with it. There's one blaring one that
the initial reveal, like, awesome.
Yeah.
But then, like, post that, then it's just like, you're ruining a fucking amazing character.
I don't do horror because I'm a giant pussy. This was like, it wasn't really horror, but there's some like without being spoiled, the water related thing that was cool, which it comes through, yeah. And then just some of the stuff at the end. It's still.
I don't even remember the water related. That's how good a movie it was.
Like, it is not good. Phase 4 for me, it's been generally a bit iffy with the films and the shows, and it's not the best
cameos.
Phase 4, but it's pretty good. It's pretty up there. It's in the top half at least.
The fact that me and Kai couldn't resolve our pizza bet based on that film just kind of sums it up.
What was your pizza bet?
We can't remember. We couldn't work out anyway.
Oh, we had a pizza bet about Critical Role.
Yeah, I remember the Critical Role.
Okay. Oh, what's that one? Have we not paid up on? No, we had the Doctor Strange one as well, about a certain character in there and whether they were whatever, which has never been cleared up.
Oh, yeah. Now I remember.
What was the Critical Role pizza bet? I've completely forgotten about it.
One of you guys believe it will stop at 100 or less, or one will go beyond 100 episodes.
Yeah. That it would cancel or stop the third campaign before episode 100.
I think they will continue, especially now with the Amazon deal they signed.
Yeah.
Okay. Again, that must have been a very good piece of bet because I have no idea. Why the fuck I don't know anything about Critical Role? That was just me being like.
What was the Doctor Strange one that you couldn't resolve?
It's a spoiler thing because we don't want to say what it is.
Yeah, about a certain character and whether they were actually a character.
Yeah. I have written it up. Mark is betting that campaign 3 of Critical Role will only have less or equal than 100 episodes. That was the exact wording that we were.
Again, good. Get the
I like how he wrote it down.
Yeah.
No, because we failed to write down the wording.
But I remember
the strange one, and then that fucked us up because we were like, where did this fall on who was right?
I remembered the parts of it, but not really like the entire wording of it.
Yeah. It revolved around whether it was necessarily Fox or not Fox.
Yeah.
That made no sense. So I'm just gonna carry on, and hopefully this will explain to me at some point in the future.
Yeah.
Number 3, Jackass Forever.
I forgot about this movie. I haven't seen it, but I know people were talking about it because I thought it was actually 2021. This one.
So did I. I checked it was like January 14th. So I was like, yes, it just counts. So that's a 2020 film I've seen. Thank God, because the list was small enough as it was. It's just more Jackass. It's been so many years. It's fun, and it does something successfully that it introduces sort of the next people, because some of them are retiring, and it's like, oh, okay, these are good things. It's not like pass the torch in a good way, which is hard for most things to do, let alone something like this when you've watched these people for, well, at least my entire life. They've been around for like the 90s.
And these fuckers' knees must be shot.
Oh,
At this point, like, you need some new people to
There's
like.
a scene in the trailer involving a teeth. If you saw the trailer, you know what it is.
teeth.
It involves, I think, Steve-O.
I mean, Steven does a lot of weird, stupid shit. For some reason, the one that stuck with me the most is where, I mean,
Does it involve a penis?
It does involve a penis.
I know.
It involves a heavyweight boxer and a penis. And I made an horrific sound. And I think every man would make a horrific sound. Because, gotchas. Don't worry. But yeah, just fun. I like Jackass. It's been too long. And I know there was a lot of drama with Bam Margera and stuff. And there's odd moments. Mainly Johnny Knoxville's hair goes from like black to grey. And like, oh yeah, these are very clearly filmed years apart.
Or he just stopped dyeing it.
Yeah, but there's a lot of things like that where they all sort of age, or there's a noticeable time jump, like a year or two. It's just between all of them.
Well, you mean probably the COVID time jump.
Probably, yeah. That's probably fair. But yeah, it looks like some of the stuff is
like
older.
Literally, like they were started filming a film, COVID hit, and then they have to stop for like a year and a half, and then they restart. And COVID was quite aging for a lot of people.
But yeah,
or the fact that they couldn't get their hair dyed anymore, so like they let it go, and then they're seen, and it's like, well, fuck it, why am I dyeing it anymore?
Yeah, but still, a lot of stuff to think. But yeah, after all these years, they've still got it, unlike most films when they come back for 10 years later. But then, number 2, quickly, because you've all talked about A Glass Onion. Fun film, good to see Leslie Odom Jr. and stuff, because, musical nerd, Hamilton, I have to give him love. I'm disappointed that, actually, I can't say because it's a fucking spoiler.
Yeah.
There were 2 people I wanted to be responsible for something because I wanted to quote other things, but I couldn't.
I know what one of them is. I won't say what it is, but I know what it is.
But yeah, so there was 6 I was like, God fucking damn it. But it probably would be higher. It could have been my number 1 if this wasn't the second one, because I think the first one is better. So it's still a good movie, but just because you compare it to the first one, I was like, God damn it, just make it a little bit. It doesn't make it worse, just like that one is better. That's all.
Yeah. All right, so we're about to enter your number 1,
I think they improved, but the first one is better. Like, I think they improved on a lot of things, and they obviously got a lot more like people involved, and they got to do some really good surprises in the second one because of the success of the first one.
Yeah,
but
yeah, it's I'm down for more of this. Like I said, Daniel Craig is fun, and his accent is always fun. But before I go to my number 1, I have to say one thing about this film. Fuck you, Ryan Johnson. Now, number 1 is Last Jedi.
Last Jedi is number 1?
No.
Yes, Last Jedi is number 1.
I was saying, fuck right there. Just clarification.
I like that guy. No, don't say it.
Yeah, we won't go there. I know Kai's in a rush.
We're not going to talk about Last Jedi. Can we please move on from Last Jedi? Please, can we stop? Please, can we please not talk about Last Jedi?
You're topping out everybody's headphones. Number 1, which a film none of you have mentioned. Which,
Morbius?
Frankly, no, Morbius was number 12 if I had a list. Because Morbius was not as bad as I thought. It was still shit, but it could have been worse. The one that none of you have mentioned, The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. Like, what a fun film! Nicolas Cage and Pedro Pascal, fun rom-com.
I saw it. I don't think I had it in my honorable mention because I was kind of a bit mixed up, but I actually did enjoy the film.
I mean, it gets to a certain point where it becomes bluntly fucking obvious what's going on. But I'm like, this is still just, I feel like them two overacting who they really are, just being themselves over the top for just 2.5 hours or 2.5 hours. I'm like, this is fun. This is just nerdy movie, dumb shit. I'm glad Nicolas Cage doesn't take himself too seriously because he's just a meme. And Pedro Pascal just fun through everything. And, Pedro Pascal's been mentioned a lot today, and as he should be.
Yeah,
because he's just
a
good boy.
Mentioned him for the best thing that he's currently in.
Yeah,
that's a TV show though, Marcus. It's about movies.
Yeah, I know, obviously, but Still, The Last of Us. Oh
And,
my god.
soon more Pedro Pascal in our lives, which is what we need.
Yeah.
Crap series.
Would you exchange Pedro Pascal with your colleague over there?
Nah, he would make a movie with both of them.
No, because I feel like this is more of a me meme. Like, just he has to be there.
Done an episode of TV show with Nathan Fillion. Because I know he used to appear in guest appearance. He was in Buffy in one episode.
I think they've done the same show, but I don't think never together.
Let me have a look.
Was he ever in Castle? He might have been in Castle.
I know Chadwick Boseman was in Castle. He played a magician.
I'm doing the research. Please continue on.
Yes. That was my one cool fact, and you knew it.
What, Chadwick Boseman?
Yeah. I was supposed to go, but Chadwick Boseman's like, oh, shit. But yeah, so yeah, that was my list. We're stalling because apparently Kai's looking into something. So before we go to Joe's video that I'm sure is going to be very well prepared, made.
Also, we need, we've got 12 minutes until Kai needs to leave to watch the Super Bowl, all right?
I mean, you can miss the first 10 minutes, nothing happens.
I mean, technically, I'm seeing it over there.
Okay.
The bacon number of Nathan Fillion towards Pedro Pascal is 2. Therefore, there is something in between that they haven't been made any sort of project together.
Does the bacon number only do films?
I think they also have. They also go for TV shows.
Because Pedro Pascal and Nathan Fillion both went in Buffy, but I don't think they were in the same episode.
Yeah.
Just to say what the links are.
I mean, technically, you could have as many one links as possible, but they're having Andre Royo as a connecting thread. I'm not really sure what kind of movie that is. Nathan Fillion was in Super with Andre Royo, and Royo was in Prospect with Pedro Pascal.
You go Buffy is the better connection. They're both in Buffy,
yes.
Right?
That's the only connection.
He does it by
Again, you could have as many as possible, and this is basically what's coming out of the algorithm.
And see, I'm pretty sure the bacon number thing is just films.
Yeah,
and I don't think it does TV shows. So you'd probably have to go him in Suicide Squad, and then one of them would link to something.
Yeah,
Wonder Woman. He was in Wonder Woman 1984.
But who was in Wonder Woman that was in Suicide Squad?
I mean, Ben Affleck was in the first Suicide Squad.
Yeah, but he wasn't.
And then you have to connect Wonder Woman to BVS, and then BVS you have to connect because you have Ben Affleck. You have to connect to Suicide Squad, Suicide Squad to the second Suicide. That's how.
Yeah.
Do you know? After this, I'm gonna get a pen and paper and work this shit out without using the web internet and see if I can work.
It'll be like that. Remember when?
Just movies.
It's going to be.
It's just gonna be Charlie Day.
Charlie Day and always just. Yeah.
It's going to be that Tim. Remember when Tim Kizzy is asking where's the Spyro eggs? Will be like this. The Spyro egg. Remember that photo that he did up for the Spyro before they announced the trilogy remastered. That was going to be the photo of him with a whiteboard. It's like, oh, this is right here. Disconnect to this one. This is what he'll do.
Right. It's getting late.
Yeah. All right. So.
Are we going to take a pause for Joe's video?
We can't see now, actually, Joe's in video, so we'll be right back after we see what are his top 10 list.
Hey everyone, sorry I couldn't be there, but I did want to submit my top 10 of 2022, so I can at least be there in spirit, and you can tear down my shit just like I will be tearing down yours as I watch along. My numbers 10 through 6 are pretty interchangeable. I would not pay too close attention to how they're ranked in this section. I'll start with number 10, Chloe Okuno's Watcher. Fun little thriller set in Romania with a lady who is stalked by her neighbor across the street. It's creepy as fuck. Moving on to number 9 with Matt Reeves' The Batman. Holy shit. 8 with Jordan Peele's Nope. Continuing on his excellent little streak of filmmaking. 7 with Barbarian, that absolutely came out of nowhere this fall. I had no idea that Justin Long was in it, and he gives one of the greatest performances comedic performances from this past year. Then number 6, we've got Pearl, the prequel to X. It's a movie, all right. It is a Technicolor nightmare. Some amazing performances out of this one. Moving on to number 5 through 2. Again, pretty interchangeable. Maybe a little bit of an edge to the number 2 one on here. But number 5, we've got Prey, the super dope prequel to the Predator films that has absolutely no right to be as good as it is. But holy shit, if you have not seen it, get on that already. Number 4 with Top Gun Maverick, another sequel that has no right to be as good as it is, but it is outstanding. Number 3 with The Menu, a film that's just chock full of amazing performances and totally got snubbed this awards season. Which is funny because it is much more a thriller than it is a horror film, and they usually like those. With number 2 being Marcel the Shell with Shoes On. If you need an absolute feel-good movie that will make you cry some happy tears, this is the one. It's a good time. Leaving the number 1 spot open for Everything Everywhere All at Once. There is not any more that I can say about this film that hasn't already been said this year. It is everything that Multiverse of Madness wanted to be. Seriously, Marvel and DC, y'all have multiverse type shit that you're trying to jump into now. Take fucking note. So that just leaves my honorable mentions. I've got A Wounded Fawn, The Black Phone, Bodies, 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 X, Smile, and Clerks 3, which is funny because all of my honorable mentions are horror films.
And that was actually Joe's top 10 video. I gotta say, actually, I'm actually surprised that none of the top 10 are actually Shudder, based horror movies, exception of one film. So what do you guys thought about his video?
I mean,
Those 3 should have been on the fucking top 10.
I think he probably saw more movies than we did.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
Guys, I just want to apologize for everyone, mainly to Joe. We are very sorry that you're very well done. Your voice, the music, all production value was good. You're at the end of this, of many hours of us rambling bullshit. Like, what a fucking shame. Like, that's the best thing about this podcast. And it's right at the
How long have we been recording?
Everybody has fucked up. Yes, you better put timestamps for this one that says when everyone list starts and just everywhere we all share this. Just say skip to Joe's. Just fuck ours. Skip to Joe's because
Yeah. Just put his 2-minute video on.
Just cut all this.
Just
put his on socials or whatever.
Yeah.
So none of you guys saw The Menu, right? Because it's on Disney Plus. Last I checked.
It is on Disney Plus. Right now.
It's actually good. It's my honorable mention list, but I actually did enjoy it. But unfortunately, I had to pick between this and The Banshees of Inisherin.
What was the other one?
Marcel the Shell with Shoes On.
No. The series, the Chicago series about the chef.
Oh, that's The Bear. That's an FX show.
The Bear, yeah, I'd watched The Bear, so I was like, I don't fancy watching The Menu now.
Menu is different. It's not the Bear. That's all I'd say.
Yeah, I know it's not, but it's also stressful and all the rest of it, isn't it?
It's all about the boy who lived come to dine.
The thing is, when everybody's talking about the Menu, I'm always thinking about about Chef and what kind of food porn movie that was.
All right. Then.
Yeah, but Chef has again. Yeah, I don't know. I'll watch
but let's just say it like that. If you're watching Chef and you haven't eaten something before, don't do it. Eat something before, because you're getting hungry from this movie.
I'm hungry now talking about Chef.
Yeah. And also he mentioned Pearl, but unfortunately that's actually a prequel to X. I've only seen X, unfortunately, this one's not released in my country. Barbarian, you guys haven't seen Barbarian, right?
No.
This is a movie that you don't need to see anything about, just because they don't spoil anything in the trailer. You have to see it without knowing anything about it. And
I know Justin Long's in it.
Yes, he's in it.
Yeah.
Then you also got Nope, the Jordan Peele movie. I heard people say it's not as good as Get Out, but it's better than Us.
No, it's better than Us.
What do you think?
It's better than Us.
It's not as good as Get Out, but it's better than Us.
It's better than Us.
That's all I say about the film.
Yeah, but I mean, like, not as good as Get Out.
Yeah, but
It's hardly an insult to a film. Like, that was one of the best.
I mean, no,
films
nothing. No movie is gonna touch Get Out compared to Jordan Peele.
No, yeah, exactly.
Because
like,
he put his heart. Because you've heard the story about how hard he worked on the script.
But also, like, the fact that once you've already done Get Out, then you've kind of done certain things that, like, you know that there's going to be the,
Yeah.
You've kind
People
of
will always
that
compare to
formula
every
and
movie he
all the
does to
rest
Get
of
Out.
it.
That's what will happen.
Mm.
Yeah.
And that was just so perfect and so amazing actors
Yeah.
and everything.
This one also had, because Daniel Kaluuya, the star of Get Out is in this film. He was offered to be in Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, but he said, no, I'm going to do Nope instead.
Well, no, there was...
No, he said, he came out and said it. Yeah, I was offered to be in Black, but I told him I can't. I'm busy shooting Nope.
No, he said he was going... So what I understand is he said he was going to be in Black Panther, and then the scheduling moved, and he would already be committed to no.
Yeah, that's why,
Which
because
is what
So
Yaz
he
just
then
said.
could not...
that's
be
exactly
in it.
what
No,
I
no,
just
no.
said. I mean,
That's what Yaz just said.
Aska, this is what I just said, Kai.
Pretty much, yeah.
But again, he didn't say he wasn't... he didn't make the choice. Black Panther's scheduling moved, so he was already committed to no. So it wasn't, again, there wasn't a choice there. He'd committed to something, and then they moved the production schedule. Or
I mean,
did Jazz say
tomato. It's the same episode.
Yeah.
It's very similar.
Yeah. All right.
that? He didn't choose not to be in Black Panther.
We're trying to be
Hey.
quick so Kai could watch the Super Bowl.
Oh, sorry. Yeah,
he wants to
sorry.
see the trailer for the Mario again, for God knows how many times. All right. Any last thoughts on the list? Anything you guys want to say?
I mean,
It's like three best movie of all time.
Okay.
It's like I respect, I expect that from Joe. It's going to be actual movies. I watched the trailer for my show, the show and blah 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 blah. It did. I'll get to it at some point. It looks like I said, fun
I don't
times.
know if it's available to watch in my country because I couldn't find it. Yeah.
Yeah,
All
it's,
right.
it's like they're proper movies as opposed to, well, mainly mine. That's just bullshit. So, thank you, Joe, for being the grown up and
Yeah.
responsible.
That's why I wanted him to be.
Was
in
I
this
the only one that had a documentary?
Yeah, because I wanted to watch.
I
this
had
film, but-
two. Come on.
I can
Phil.
watch it.
What?
No, we can't physically watch it.
We can't watch the Clerks
When
3
there's
documentary. We have to
Selena
buy the
Gomez,
Blu-ray.
you can watch the
Yes, the-
Selena Gomez
Oh, this
one.
this
That's
one.
why we can
Okay.
watch it. And I have some documentaries from Nat Geographic that one of them got nominated for an Oscar. It's about two couples who are volcano experts. I forgot what it's called, Fire of Love, something like this.
That's an awful name if it is.
You do know that they died, right? During one of the exhibits.
Well, I'm a cunt.
Oh,
That's-
wow. Again, I thought we said we weren't doing spoilers.
That's a true story of documentary. I mean,
Well,
it's like
Yaz
someone
just
saying,
burned me.
"Oh, I know what. Never mind." All right,
Titanic,
let's
yeah,
just
the ship thing.
end it right now because that's good. We know you guys are busy and stuff, and thanks guys for joining me again. And I don't know, you know what? I didn't know how this is going to. I actually
Thanks
had
for
more
having
fun.
us, guys.
Okay,
Yeah,
you know
thank
what?
you, Yaz. It's
Yeah,
always
thank
good
you.
to see
Yeah,
you.
so I think we should just say where we can find us first. Mark.
At the Indie Boy 1 on pretty much all socials other than Hive, where I'm the Indie Boy finally.
Yes. Okay. Kai.
You can find me at Ave_Krenet on Twitter and Instagram and stuff like that.
Yeah. Andy.
I'm Andy Mac 9995 game on Twitter,
Yeah.
and then Andy Mac 9995 on Twitch. At some point, I should be streaming again. Hopefully, at some point this week.
How long until you get Andy Mac something without a huge number?
See, I like the number. I quite like the number because there's another Andy Mac that's already somebody.
All right,
So
then. You know
I'm
what?
kinda
Let's keep it.
And also, that's not how my last name is spelled. So I'm like, no.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Yes,
post the links in the Discord. I mean, them in the sub description. I'm also gonna put Joe's, Twitter account is J Mertens, and also his podcast, Murder with Mertens, also his podcast. I'm going to put the YouTube link down below. And like I said, YAZ300 Pro on Twitter and Instagram for all the things about the podcast. And make sure you're staying my podcast, Redemption on the Rotten YouTube. Is in this. It's also on Apple, and I forgot Spotify also. I forgot his name for some reason. And let's see what else. Oh yes, like and subscribe and leave a comment and rate us. I think that'll be all. Oh yes, one last final housekeeping. I forgot. I saw Andy. don't forget to reach 1 million subscribers so we can do the Adventures of Facella. Andy has to see it. And we want to also see him drunk.
Or 100.
And the one already reminded me.
Which is only 6 away.
Yeah, of course. Last I checked, we were 64. And you know what? I check right now how much we are right now.
Time to unsubscribe.
I lost one
just
subscriber actually.
69?
One time.
Also, thank you for everyone who made it this far.
Yes, we still we're 94 subscribers.
If you actually made it this far, please let us know on Twitter.
Oh my God. Just tweet all 4 of us. Tomato shoe.
All right. All right, and Tag also joined the tweet. So he was like, "What the hell happened?" Okay. And I guess 100 subscribers will review the Oogie Love. And thanks guys for watching and listening or wherever you are. And we'll hope to see you guys on the next episode. Bye guys.
Bye.
Bye.